Hello, everyone. Time to go live on YouTube. Okay, wait a few seconds for that to happen. Okay, hello YouTube, hello Twitch. We're gonna be playing more of the Ace Attorney Investigations collection. We are on case 4, a Turnabout Forsaken. In the last case, we played back-to-back Miles Edgeworth's father and himself to solve a case that occurred 18 years ago. And we found out who the killer was. And we were responsible for possibly freeing an innocent man from prison. Now we're going to play through a Turnabout Forsaken. No clue what this is about. Might be about the committee. The Committee of Prosecutorial Excellence that Judge Cuphead is a part of. Because she threatened Miles about it. I hereby call this meeting to order. The committee is gathered here in the sight of the goddess to pass fair and frank judgment. The purpose of this hearing is to assess the professional competency of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Ooh. Guess it really does have to do with the committee this time. Are you? Why are you wearing that raincoat? No! No, Kay isn't dead. They didn't kill Kay. That's too sad. April 5th, 1:23 p.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. What's wrong, Gumshoe? Will you please stop pacing, Detective? You're kicking up dust.
But I swept the floor 3 times already!
Then sweep it a 4th.
They're gonna take your badge, Edgeworth! How can you just stand there cool as a cucumber?
We don't know for certain that they will.
Well, it sure seems like they mean to. Judge Cuphead pretty much spelled it out.
Clearly, you are proving to be quite a threat to the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. As such, you give me little choice but to report back on your continued transgressions. No doubt you will be called to appear before the committee in due course. She said that I would be called to appear before the committee, nothing more.
Well, I don't care. I won't stand for it. What if we never get to work together again?
I'd have thought you would welcome the prospect, Detective. After all, it would mean you could work with someone less problematic.
Don't say that, sir. I've never heard anyone except that stupid committee say you're problematic. You're not just looking for an excuse, are you? Become a defense attorney, I mean. Because I won't let you. You're Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth. Prosecutor, you hear?
Become a defense attorney, huh? The circumstances of my father's death set me on the path to becoming a prosecutor. La Panda Blase! Hello! It has been so long. How are you doing? But I'd only been interested in the law to begin with thanks to my father as well, and his work as a defense attorney.
Are you going to keep fighting crime as a prosecutor or help people as an attorney? Something tells me you've got a big decision ahead of you. One only you can answer.
Doing good? Yay, Ace Attorney? Yes, yay, Ace Attorney. We're playing the Ace Attorney Investigations collection. I'm on the 2nd game and the 4th case.
Are you listening, Miss Edgeworth? I said I won't let you do this.
Really, Detective? There's no need to be so dramatic. Who knows? The next prosecutor you work with might be a little more lenient with your salary assessments.
Huh, really? So, no more instant noodles? I mean, no! What are you saying, sir? I don't care care about any of that stuff. You thought about it, didn't you? Only for a moment. We're busy in here. Come back later.
Hey there, is the prosecutor in? A prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth?
Look, pal, what part of we're busy don't you get? Wait outside and I'll be with you in a bit.
Oh, that's not good. Your face is as red as a tomato. Red face, gritted teeth. Let's see.
Yeah, I said we're busy.
Wait, that's it. Stomach cramps, right? No need to worry. It's nothing an injection can't cure. Now roll up your sleeve for me. It won't hurt much. She's a bit of a sadistic nurse, isn't she? She likes to give people shots.
Eek! No thanks, pal. I'm healthy as can be.
And who might you be? Oh, sorry. I totally forgot to introduce myself, huh? The name's Needler. Florence Needler. I'm a nurse at Hertz Hospital. Well, nobody here is hurt, so... Are you sure you have the right room? Yeah, you're Prosecutor Edgeworth, right? Wow, those are some deep furrows in your brow. Are you feeling alright? Suffering from a severe headache? I could give you an injection that'll...
I'll be fine, thank you.
Could you please just tell us what you're doing here? Huh? Oh, sure. Well, it's like this. I brought somebody to see you. Wait right there. I'll go grab her.
But wait. The heck was that about? Too late. I wonder who she brought along. If she's here from a hospital, maybe it's a patient? Someone you cut down to size with your trademark rampy or what?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
See, that right there, sir. When you glare at me like that, I lose the will to live. You don't want to send me to the hospital, do you? Surely he's exaggerating. After all, that's the look I always give him, and nothing's happened so far.
Sorry to keep you fellas waiting. Well, thoughts?
Thoughts on what?
You don't recognize me?
There is something about her. Something familiar. How you doing? I graduated from animation school? Congratulations! Me, I've just been doing same old, streaming and doing stenography, captioning, stuff like that. I haven't gotten any work from Congress in a while, so I've been waiting on that.
This had your name on it. So I thought, just maybe?
So you really did put somebody in the hospital. Don't be ridiculous, detective. But look, sir, your name's right there on the card. Public Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth, plain as day. Ugh, be that as it may.
I'm so sorry. What she's trying to say is she has amnesia.
Amnesia?
Yes, at least that's what they tell me. Her parents must be so worried about her. Stenography is so important. I hope Congress calls you again. Me too. I bet they've only been getting around 8 hours of sleep each night. You gotta feel for them.
Isn't 8 hours like the minimum? Do I though? Because that's quite a lot of sleep if you ask me. Whoa, tough break. But don't you worry, alright? Since you had his card, that means you really must know Mr. Edgeworth somehow. So just sit back and we'll take it from here. Right, sir?
At the very least, we might be able to help you figure out your identity. Really? Will you?
It's going to come down to what you remember, but yes. Now that's the Miss Edgeworth I know. Don't worry, miss. You're as good as healed. Let's not get carried away here, detective. I'm a prosecutor, remember? Not a miracle worker. Where do we even start? So do you remember your name, miss?
I'm sorry. He's been like this since she came in yesterday.
So she's only been in the hospital for a day.
No, wait, that's amazing! How did you figure it out so fast?
Ugh. How can one person be so emotionally draining?
They found her wandering around late last night and brought her in. I wanted to help her out, so I went through her stuff to see what I could find.
And did you find anything apart from my business card?
Nothing with her name or home address. Oh, wait a second. She was wearing this. It's a pretty unique design, right?
What? This pin? What the heck? That Yatakarasu pin. That mean... But it can't be. Hey, is it really you?
Kay? you, isn't it, Kay? I'm... Kay?
Come on, Kay, you really don't remember? Look, it's me, Gummy! That's what you always call me!
Gummy? But you're an adult. That's so rude. I don't really call you that, do I? I'm so sorry. I can't believe I feel so guilty now.
What the heck happened to you? I've never seen you so polite. Being polite and sensitive is just not... Where's the Kay I know? You're nothing like her!
Careful, detective. We wouldn't want her to get the wrong impression. You make it sound as if Kay isn't normally a polite or sensitive soul. Not that he's wrong exactly, but... What kind of person was I before?
Well, first of all, your full name is Kay Faraday.
Rhythmix is just redeemed pat my head.
Thank you for patting my head.
You're bright and fun and full of energy and... Oh yeah, you're a great thief.
A great thief? There's a little more to it than that, but yes. Thieves generally steal other people's valuables from their dressers or vaults, and... Steal? But that must be so awful for the people I took things from. Oh gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was a criminal. Maybe I lost my memory as some sort of punishment. No, that's not what I meant at all.
Ugh, I don't think that it did her much good, sir.
But he sure explains one thing. Look at these gloves. They're just the kind a person like that would wear.
Hey, that outfit!
This? It's what she was wearing when they found her. But we had to get her to change out of it and put on hospital clothes. So that's why I have them.
There's something on this part here. Could it have something to do with how Kay lost her memory? I'll send the outfit over to forensics later and see what they can figure out.
Please do, detective. Boy, they really are some thiefy clothes, huh? I'm a criminal?
You may be a great thief, but you've never committed a crime in your life. Rest assured, you are no criminal.
If you say so.
Perhaps we better leave it there for now.
I'm sorry. I wish I could remember who you are. How do we know each other exactly?
Well, that is, how do I put it into words? You're Prosecutor Edgeworth's assistant.
I am? The prosecutor is the head of some sort of great thief network, then.
No, not quite.
We last saw Kay 2 days ago. Perhaps we should try to figure out what she's been doing since then. Was the pin the only item on her person when you received her, Nurse Needler? There were a few other things, but I doubt any of it will be of much use to you.
I'll be the judge of that. Could you please show them to us?
Well, alright then. In no particular order, I present...
A Jammin' Ninja mask? Was she at a show or something?
A letter, and it's addressed to Kay. Next, a ticket stub, and finally...
A fake flower! The kind people like to spruce up their bathrooms with, too.
It's a corsage, detective, and they're usually worn by women. And that's that! So, anything useful in it?
Kinda hard to tell. Frankly, I'm not really seeing a connection between any of them.
I should take a closer look at each piece later when I have the chance. Jammin' Ninja mask. Letter. Ticket stub. Magenta flower.
Ugh, this is bad. How do we get Kay's memory back?
Let me look at these items. This is the pin Kay always wears. It's shaped like the mark of the Yatakarasu, and it's very eye-catching indeed. I can't imagine any thief other than Kay would want to wear it. Dear Kay, don't worry, I'll make sure you get your precious thing back. Rosie. Big Building Viewing Platform entry ticket. April 4th, 7:28 p.m. Student. $6. Use limited to day of purchase, non-refundable. And a corsage.
We can't just let her stay like this forever.
Calm down, detective. I have an idea.
You do? I knew you'd come to rescue, sir. So what is it?
Look closely at the ticket stub. Oh, it's for the viewing platform at the top of the big building.
The big building? You know the place?
Everybody knows it, silly. It's the hottest date spot in town. They say that if a couple holds hands while they're up there, they'll stay together forever. This is used yesterday's date, and the ticket is only valid on the day specified.
Plus, it's a stub. That means she used it, right?
I think it's a distinct possibility. Well, shall we go see what we can find?
Now? Just like that?
The only way to figure out how Kay lost her memory is to retrace her steps.
But what about your thing with the committee?
It's not for a little while yet. We have time. Hey, so, can I leave Kay with you? That would be for the best, but you don't mind, do you, Kay? Oh, of course not. Thank you. Alrighty then, back to work I go. If you need anything, feel free to give me a holler at Hertz Host Hospital, okay? I can come running with a syringe or 3, wherever you might happen to be. Yes, thank you. I doubt we'll be needing that particular service. Now then, Detective, shall we get going? You too, Kay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, of course. She's all banged up. April 5th, big building. Plaza.
So according to this pamphlet, the big building's 50 stories high. It's all offices inside, so the viewing platform up top is the only part that's open to the public. Here, this one's for you, sir. They were handing them out for free in the ticket area.
How very kind of you, Detective. Alright, I think it's time we headed inside. Let me look at this pamphlet first. Viewing platform, tree, stand, okay.
Look out, the big building is about to fall! What? We gotta do something!
No, please, I'm begging! You stop! It's no good. Without fresh milk, my thoughts just aren't getting through to him.
What's happening here? What's going on with the building? Just stay calm and talk to me, kid.
Cut! Cut, cut, cut! I'm so sorry. We're shooting a movie. So could you, Ladybug outfit? Yeah. It looks like it. Yes, I thought as much. Forgive our intrusion. We'll get out of your way. Detective.
Oh, sorry. Really had me there for a second.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, director guy, can we take 5? I can't work under these conditions. I'm so sorry. Sorry. Oh, gosh. Did they stop the building from falling down? That's good. I wish we had time to explain, but maybe later. Come along, you two. Let's make ourselves scarce. April 5th, 2:18 p.m. Big building. Viewing platform.
Whoa, get a load of that view! Feel the sun on your face!
The wind is very strong up here.
That's okay. You just stand behind me or Mr. Edgeworth here. We're both more than big enough to keep the breeze away.
Speak for yourself. Well, Kay, does this place bring back any memories? I'm not sure. Have I really been here before? Perhaps simply encouraging her to talk will help. Hey, please. Any thoughts or feelings that come to mind might be a clue we can use. Alright. I don't know if this will be of any help at all, but... What I remember. I still can't be sure if I've even been here before. It's so high up, and the wind is so strong. It's terrifying. I don't remember. I just don't remember anything. It's no good. I'm so sorry. Yeah, poor Kay.
No dice, huh?
I'm sorry. I feel so useless. I know I'm supposed to have all these memories, but I just can't remember. You have amnesia, Kay. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Listen, sir. Maybe just this once try not to be so intimidating, okay? Or at the very least, don't use your trademark glare on her.
Nobody asked for your opinion, detective. Rebuttal. I still can't be sure if I've even been here before.
Hold it!
Well, this ticket stub says otherwise. But I don't remember. I don't remember coming here at all. I can't even imagine wanting to come here. It's so high up and the wind is so strong. It's terrifying.
Hold it!
Kay used to love places like this, though. But am I really her? I feel dizzy just taking a look around. I don't even think anyone should be allowed up here. What if an old person fell? Or a child? It doesn't bear thinking about.
There's a fence all around us, and it's plenty high. There's really no need to worry.
If you say so. I don't remember. I just don't remember anything.
Hold it!
If nothing is coming to mind, then just take a look around. Do you recognize anything? Anything at all?
Let's see. Ah! Cherry blossoms.
Go on.
I was standing under the cherry tree. Yes, I was trying to stay out of the rain. It was raining. I remember now. And there was a red something.
So it was raining. She was underneath the cherry tree, and she saw something red from where she stood. But what?
Was it something I said?
No, but if you could add that to your testimony, we can explore it further.
But from under the cherry tree, I think I saw something red.
Hold it!
There's something red. Can you tell me any more about it?
I'm not sure. It was just a red thing. That's all I can say.
What can we see nearby that's red? Was it the concession stand over there, perhaps?
A stand? A red concession stand? Yes, I think that was it. Somebody was walking towards me from beyond it.
And then what happened?
Then, I'm sorry.
That's alright. If you could just add what you told us to your testimony.
But there was someone walking towards me from beyond the concession stand.
Hold it!
The stand in question is the one behind you, correct?
That's right. I remember the red color, and the person walking toward me from beyond it. I saw it all from under the cherry tree.
Tell me something. This person you keep mentioning, could you not see their face, or did you simply not know who they were?
I'm sorry. I'm just not sure.
So all we have to go on is a person walking toward her from beyond the concession stand, and the fact that she saw this from beneath the cherry tree.
It's no good. I'm so sorry.
Hold it!
It doesn't have to be related to how you lost your memory, but if anything floats up at all, just say it.
Really? Well, oh, the cotton candy from that stand there. I don't know why, but it just came to me.
If you're hungry, you only have to stay. You want cotton candy? You got it. My treat.
Thank you. It would make my day.
I have to get something out of her somehow. Maybe if I pressed her a little, I can shake something loose.
Objection!
Wasn't this? Hey, does this remind you of anything?
What? What is it?
I believe it might be related to what happened to you.
Come on, sir. The poor kid's got amnesia. You can't go throwing curveballs at her like that.
Perhaps it's not as closely related as I thought.
She's already trying her best, so stop pushing her so hard.
You're right. I'll try to think a bit more before I show her something again.
Objection!
Alright, Kate. Take a look at this and tell me what you see.
Oh, okay. I see. A man in red has these deep lines in his brow. He's putting a lot of pressure on me.
Ugh. She's not talking about me, is she?
I'm not so sure that piece of evidence has anything to do with her statement, sir.
I think you might be right. Let's take another careful listen to her testimony.
Hold it!
How about the pamphlet?
Objection!
Okay. You say they saw someone over there beyond the stand, and that they were walking toward you?
Yes, I can see them getting closer.
Are you sure it wasn't a ghost?
No, it was a person. I'm sure of it.
But from where you were standing, anyone you saw on the other side of the concession stand
would have to be floating in midair, hundreds of feet above the ground. So how on earth could it have been a person? Eek! I'm not lying, I promise. Somebody read the stand? Somebody read, and they were on the other side. They were walking toward me, getting closer and closer, and then they, ah!
Kay, what's the matter? You're all right, we're here. Whatever it is, it can't hurt you.
I was pushed and I fell by a person in a red raincoat. A person in a red raincoat who could walk on air? And who supposedly pushed her off of the building? None of this makes any sense, not the least of which, nobody could fall from this height and survive.
Attention everyone, please stay right where you are. What's wrong, officer? I'm Detective Gumshoe. Mind filling me in? Yes, sir. A body has been discovered here in this building, sir. A body?
Whose body exactly?
Not sure. We're still working on it. But what we do know is that the victim is a young woman. And that her name is Kay. What the blazing?
What? Don't to be continued me right now. What the fuck is going on? I thought she was Kay. Maybe she's Rosie? April 5th, 2:36 p.m. Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. Chamber. That's not Kay. Wait, this room. Officer, isn't this?
Yes, sir. This is the trial chamber of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. So it's here now?
I knew that they'd moved out of the prosecutor's building, but I had no idea that they'd come here. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, and Kay too. How are you all doing? Is Kay feeling any better? We heard there was some kind of incident. I'm sorry, but who might this be? Gonna head out. Have a good stream. Bye! Thank you for coming by. This is my grandma. Hold on 1 second. Name's Hilda Hurt, Sonny. And who the heck might this be? Ahem. It's a pleasure to meet you. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service. Nurse Needler? Your grandmother's name, Hertz. Is she? Yep, she's the director of Hertz Hospital.
This old woman is the head of a hospital?
Don't you old fogey me, you dang reprobate. Ahem.
How did she do that? Whoa, it sounds like you're kind of a big deal, ma'am.
Oh, that's not true. Ahem. Not wrong. Not wrong at all. Oh, him? He's the one looking after the girl. The one with the amnesia.
It seems Dr. Hertz is a bit of an introvert.
Want me to fix those brow furrows of yours, Sonny?
Oh, there's no fixing those, ma'am. They're downright incurable.
What? You're sure you want me to say that, Grandma? Well, alright then. Now, I don't got a dang thing more to say to none of y'all. You go on about your business, you hear? As long as that business don't involve messing with the deceased body, I got work to do.
Wait, please.
Not a dang thing, I tell ya.
Hey, you can't talk to us like that. What gives you the right, huh, pal?
Oh, didn't I mention? Grandma's also a coroner. She's in charge of this case, which means... Ouch! Which means exactly that.
What do you mean? Exactly what?
How am I supposed to know? She said it, not me.
Huh? It's like I'm trapped in a comedy routine I can't escape.
Well, we've got a body to be looking at. Catch you later, gang, and take care.
What the heck is their deal?
What does it matter as long as we have permission to investigate?
What does it matter? It matters a bunch, sir.
What will you do now, Mr. Edgeworth? Examine the scene of the crime, of course. What kind of prosecutor would I be if I didn't? Alright, let's get to work. That person over there is called Kay, right? Surely that means I can't be the K you know.
That's exactly what we're looking to find out. But don't worry, you're the K we know. I'm certain of it.
Thanks.
A K who lost her memory and a victim who shares her name. Both meeting their respective fates here at the big building. No doubt this case will be the key to restoring our K's memories. I'd stake my life on it. Begin investigation. An enormous semicircular desk with seating for 11. It almost reminds me of a certain legend. I know the one, sir. The Knights of the, Round Table, right? Whoops, guess that wasn't it. The Newts of the Round Table, the Knives of the Round Stable, further and further from the mark, but I'll refrain from rubbing his nose in it, for now. If things had gone as they were meant to, I'd be standing at this podium right now. Yeah, I guess so, huh? I'm glad the hearing got delayed, but I wish it wasn't because someone died. Although it would have been that much harder to investigate had my badge had been taken away. The best thing I can do right now for all parties involved is to get to the truth behind this incident. Officer, tell me about the security arrangements for this room. Yes, sir. You need a special key card to enter, sir. Interesting. So not just anybody can enter? In which case, the person who discovered the body would have been... Yes, sir. A member of the committee. They found it when they arrived for today's hearing. Hearing? My hearing. Which would be underway right now if it wasn't for this.
Sorry, but we're kind of busy right now. Grandma's still looking at the body. You stay the heck out of my way, you hear? Ahem. So could you give us a few more minutes?
Of course. We'll come back and examine the body ourselves later after she's done. That's a lot of books, sir. Kinda intimidating, if you ask me.
Intimidating? What could be more welcoming than a good book, detective?
Guess that depends. I got the chewing out of my life in the library back in the day for running laps inside it. This isn't really a library, is it? So maybe I can jog around a little, work off some anxiety?
Something tells me that if I don't stop him, he might very well start running around and around.
It's a statue of the goddess of justice. You sure know your stuff, sir. So does she dole out blessings or what?
She's not that kind of goddess, detective. She's a symbol of the sanctity of the law. The scales represent justice, the sword retribution, and the blind hole shows her impartiality. There's a pool of blood here at the foot of the statue. Judging by the amount and how it has spread, I'd say this is where the victim was killed.
But the body's on that table behind us, sir. How come?
I can only surmise the killer must have moved it for some reason after committing the murder.
Sorry to intrude.
Oh! You are... Huh? What's that, Grandma? I know that voice anywhere. That's Von Karma's little girl. Oh, so you two know each other.
It has been too long, Grandma Hertz.
And you as well, Miles Edgeworth.
What's she doing here?
Franziska Von Karma. She is the daughter of Manfred Von Karma and a prosecutor like myself. These days, she's mainly been working with Interpol, though I thought she was supposed to be abroad. Don't look so surprised. Where my investigations lead, I follow, no matter where in the world that might be.
Which means that there must be some kind of international angle to this case, yes?
You know full well that I've been pursuing a certain smuggling ring. And that I won't rest until it has been destroyed and its ill-gotten goods recovered. So the smuggling ring is involved then. That information is to be shared on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know.
I see she means to be as helpful as ever.
Miss Von Karma is pleasant? Grandma wants to tell you something. I'm about done here. He's all yours.
In that case, we'd like to examine the body ourselves too, if you wouldn't mind.
I mind plenty. I remember where I heard about you now, you danged varmint. Don't need no soon-to-be ex-prosecutor messing the place up. Go on, get! Just remember it's not me saying this stuff, okay? Please, Granny, it's important. Who you calling a granny, little missy? Eek! I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. This is going nowhere. I didn't want to have to do this, but... Francisca, I need you to add us to the investigation. We have to see the body up close or we'll never learn the truth about what happened to Kay. As in, Kay Faraday?
Please, you gotta help us out here. Kay needs us.
I don't know what you're up to, but... Very well. Thank you. You won't regret it. Of course, I expect to receive a full explanation when I grill you later.
We owe you, sir. Big time.
I wasn't talking to you, Scruffy.
Ah!
Well, Grandma Hertz, will you allow them to examine the body? I ain't about to say no to an international big shot like yourself, hun. But are you sure about this? Yeah, I agree with Grandma. Are you sure you're sure? Of course I'm sure. It's my prerogative to judge the whole world in my name. That's just common sense.
Of the extremely arrogant sort, perhaps.
Suit yourself, but don't say I didn't warn ya. Well, you heard her. Try not to get fired, okay?
Don't worry.
It'll take a lot more than this to ruin my reputation should things sour.
Unlike me, who's on the verge of losing my badge.
Begin investigation. You pesky kids want something? Ahem? Nurse Needler, could you tell me a little more about your relationship with Dr. Hertz? Sure. Let's see. Well, I've lived with her since I was little. If I got lost while I was out playing, she'd come looking for me till the sun went down. If I fell over and grazed my knee, she'd watch over me till I found the strength to pick myself up.
That's quite the heartwarming tale. A very classic grandmother-grandchild relationship.
And once I became a nurse, if I stuck a needle in the wrong place, she'd say, "Not there, you bonehead, there!" And then she'd pull it right out and... Ouch!
Ouch! I felt that, pal. Can we stop talking about needles now?
Anyway, so yeah, I can do any kind of nursing thing I need for Grandma now.
Thank you. That was a very thorough answer indeed. Even if the story didn't end on a heartwarming note, it's nice that they share such a close bond, I suppose. You must be the best coroner in town, Dr. Hertz. I'll bet you can spot a cause of death in seconds and get it right every time, huh?
What do you know about coronering, you big galoot? You don't know the first dang thing.
Ouch!
You'll have to forgive the detective, Dr. Hertz. I'll make sure he learns not to say such presumptuous things. As if I care. You shut your pie hole and listen, Mr. Smarty Pants. Spotting a cause of death correctly in seconds is my bread and butter. Which is why the one thing that gets my go worse than anything is folks getting in my dang way. I think that's all she wanted to say. Satisfied?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. All we want to do is examine the body for clues. We'll do our best to stay out of your way. I imagine it's because of how seriously she takes her work that she reacts so colorfully to us.
Hertz Hospital is the finest medical institution in the land. It would have to be with Grandma in charge. How about it? You look like you could use some R&R. You sure do. And you're in luck. We got us an empty suite or two with fancy hot tubs and all right now.
Thank you, but as you can see, we're in perfectly fine health. We won't be needing a room at the hospital. Yup, fit as fiddles and strong as oxes. That's our motto, right, sure? It may be yours, detective, but I'd like to think I have a little more going for me than that.
That doesn't matter. Hertz Hospital welcomes the hale and hearty, too. Our healthy? So what? Stay anyway campaign is in full swing and going great.
Bleh. I'm having a hard time reading.
Not sick or injured. That's nice. Your room is half the price.
Nothing on earth could convince me to spend a night in the hospital for pleasure.
This is a one-time offer, you know. So how about it? Come stay at the happiest hospital in town.
A hot tub does sound pretty good. And half price? This might be too good to miss.
Seriously, detective?
One thing's for certain. This isn't Kay. She doesn't even look like her.
I think we knew that already, detective. Our Kay's standing right over there, after all. The victim looks to be in her 30s. She's wearing a white suit.
Could be she works in one of the offices here in the building.
Perhaps, but for now she remains unidentified. The question is, why did the police seem to think her name was Kay? I'm gonna scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
You think this could be the murder weapon?
A 3-armed candelabrum. The victim suffered the same number of puncture wounds to the chest. Puncture wounds that could well have been made by these spikes.
A candle album?
Not quite, Detective. A candelabrum. A candle holder, in other words.
Oh, I gotcha. That reminds me. I forgot to pay my electricity bill once a while back, and I had to live by a candlelight for a whole month.
Who does that in this day and age? Who does that in this day and age? It seems she suffered a serious burn to her hand at some point.
You think it had something to do with how she died?
No, this scar's too old for that. I would imagine it happened some time ago. She's holding something. Detective, could you open her hand for me?
Yes, sir, right away. What is that? Wait, I know. It's a loyalty card. Probably from a store. Yow!
It's a key card.
Ugh, why, sir, why?
The question we should be asking is, what does it open? There's something pinned to the jacket here. A piece of magenta fabric.
Whatever it was, it looks like it was torn off pretty roughly.
It doesn't look as if there's anything in the chest pocket.
Nothing except this hole right here.
By the look of how the fabric was torn, I think it was pierced by something sharp.
Can't keep your coins in there now. They'd all fall right out.
Have you never heard of a change purse, Detective?
Sure have, sir. It's another word for a pocket, right?
I give up. A pure white jacket with a deep red stain on its lapel. This jacket, the buttons are on the wearer's right-hand side.
What's so weird about that? Buttons always go on the right, no?
Not on women's clothing. Traditionally, the buttons would be on the left. What? First thing I'm hearing of that.
Like I always say, sir, you sure know your stuff.
This is common knowledge, Detective. Is it, though? Is it common knowledge? Nothing else seems amiss. Wait, what's this in the pocket?
A pair of gloves, also white.
They don't seem to be soiled in any way. I imagine they must have belonged to the victim. This book!
What the? That's Kay's promise book. It's where she wrote down all the promises she made to her dad. Haven't seen this in a while.
Indeed. A book of vows made by a child to her father. But what exactly is it doing here?
Oh, I just remembered something Detective Bad told me a few years back. He said something precious to Kay had disappeared from the station.
What? Evidence went missing from police custody?
Detective Bad said he looked for it everywhere, but no dice.
What could this mean? And why did it turn up here of all places? You there. What do we know about this notebook, officer?
The victim was holding it when they found her, sir. It was the only thing with any kind of name on it at the time.
That's how she became Kay.
Talk about a red herring. Still doesn't explain how she ended up with it, though.
If only we had a few more leads on the victim's true identity. The victim's hair is caked with blood.
Looks like she was hit with something, huh?
Unfortunately, it's too early to say for certain. Perhaps an answer will turn up as we investigate further. Okay, and the corsage.
Eureka!
Judging by its appearance, I'd say that the flower Kay was carrying originally belonged to the victim.
Yeah, now that you mention it, it does look like it's made out of the same fabric.
Indeed, let's make a closer comparison.
The torn edges match up exactly. You've got one heck of an eye, sir.
If the flower belongs to the victim, this implies a connection between the victim and Kay Faraday. Furthermore, it appears the flower was torn off with considerable force. Kay Faraday was involved in the incident somehow, and based on what we're seeing here, we may have no choice but to treat her as our main suspect.
What? But there's no way she could have done this. I can't even begin to imagine it. There isn't a murderous bone in her body.
Nevertheless, we lack the evidence to disprove such an assertion. For the moment, we're simply considering all the possibilities. Isn't that right, Miles Edgeworth? For better or worse, yes. Yes, what is it? A murder in the trial chamber of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. This is serious. I did you the favor of allowing you to investigate further. I'll be expecting results. And you'll get them. Would I still be here if I didn't think I could deliver? Come to think of it, why were you here in the first place? So she doesn't know I was summoned before the committee.
It's a long story, longer than the nighttime, and deeper than the sea. How about we save it midsides worth of trouble and I'll tell you Eek!
On second thought, I don't care why you're here. What's important is that we solve the case in front of us. Agreed? Wholeheartedly.
Wait, but you were the one who asked the first place, sir!
What's that saying again? Whip first, think later?
But can't you make it the other way just for me? Eek!
What are you doing here, Francisca? I thought you were working abroad on something with Interpol. Wouldn't you like to know? But that's top secret, and I have neither the need nor the obligation to tell you. I thought you'd say as much. Anyway, never mind that. Where's the prosecutor in charge of this case? Not that I know who's been assigned, but I was hoping they'd take care of the legwork for me. Yet they haven't even bothered to show up. What in the world could they be doing?
Ouch! I'm not the prosecutor's keeper, sir.
It's hardly fair to whip people who don't deserve it, Francisca. What use is a whip if you don't use it? And who better to use it on than anybody who isn't giving 110%? I may not know who's been assigned yet, either, but I 110% feel for them already. I couldn't help but notice that you seem to be acquainted with Dr. Hertz. How very astute of you, Miles Edgeworth. Yes, I know her. Once upon a time, we... Never mind. She doesn't seem keen to talk about it. Perhaps I better leave it for now.
What happened, sir? What happened once upon a time? You can't not tell us now. Ouch!
Only a foolish fool foolishly pries into another person's business. Now hold your tongue, Scruffy, or you'll get more than a mere tongue lashing.
It's a bit late for that.
Fear the whip spoil a child. A whip in time says 9. Didn't you go to school, you whipless wonder?
Eek!
Yes, it seems that leaving it alone was the right choice after all. Jesus, she's more aggressive than usual. How is the investigation going, officer?
Great, sir. To tell you the truth, I've forgotten all about work and decided to focus on daydreaming. They say if you think in pictures instead of words, it's really good for the right side of your brain, so...
That will be quite enough. Nice, neatly arranged bookshelves, stretching off into the distance. Quite a pleasing sight, don't you think?
Sure is. There's not a speck of dust on any of them. Reminds me of my special method for cleaning your office, sir. Sweep, then vacuum, then wipe it all down twice. Then on goes the floor wax, and then...
Only you approach your actual job with the same level of rigor.
Can't be easy reading books that size, or lifting them for that matter.
And the committee only just moved. It must have been quite the undertaking.
Hauling stuff around is kind of my forte. They should have given me a call.
Well, if we run into the chairman, I'll be sure to ask if there's more heavy lifting to be done.
Yeah, I was joking, sir. I can't be carrying stuff up 50 flights of stairs. I have a real job to do.
I was joking too, Detective. But why were you planning on taking the stairs?
Yes, sir? Didn't take long for Miss Von Karma to start waving her whip around, huh? I tried keeping my distance, but she's too quick. I can't get out of the way in time.
I wouldn't bother, Detective. Sometimes the more you try to move away, the more the whip seems to find its mark.
Yeah, it's enough to make you want to give up altogether, and I should know. I've been smacked around by Miss Von Karma at least as much as you, sir.
Good for you.
So the victim had Kay's old notebook, huh?
She did, which is why they thought her name was Kay too.
Talk about jumping to conclusions. I ought to arrest somebody for that.
If you're keen to arrest somebody, Detective, how about you look for and arrest the murderer?
Ouch. I was totally gonna help with that too, sir.
Yes, I suppose all he can offer at this point is help. In any case, there may still be clues we've missed. Let's take another look at the body, carefully.
I wonder how Kay lost her memory.
Yes, I'm afraid we still don't know enough at the moment to figure that out. But the victim did have Kay's promise notebook in her possession, which suggests that Kay might have some kind of connection to this case.
So if Kay gets her memory back, it might lead to some huge breakthrough in the investigation?
I'm not so sure the outlook is quite that rosy.
Oh, I just thought of a way we could cure Kay's amnesia. Wanna hear?
I can already tell it's going to be terrible, so no. In fact, do me a favor and lock it away deep inside.
But sir, just listen, okay? First we get a great big mallet, then I'll take aim for one big whack and...
Turn the key now, detective. Turn it and throw it away. I would imagine that the victim's keycard probably grants access to this room, wouldn't you?
Let me go find out, sir. I'm back! They found some details in that keycard in the security system. It's for this room, just like you said.
So the victim was able to enter and exit this chamber freely. Assuming that the keycard actually belonged to her, yes. Indeed. Investigation complete. It seems we're no closer to discovering the identity of our victim. Then, am I really Kay? Can you really be sure?
Of course we're sure. What are you talking about?
Thank you. And that person lying there? Is someone you may have murdered, but that's all we can say for now.
No, there's no way she did it. Isn't that right, sir?
Indeed. I don't believe the Kay we know could have done something like this. You're becoming a real softie, Miles Edgeworth. Well, look who it is again. Ugh, I know that voice. It's Winner! God, it's fucking Eustace. With a winning smile and the #1 name in the business, it is I, Prosecutor Eustace Winner! It's Gavel, too. Please forgive the intrusion. Step away from that body, Edgeworth. I didn't call for you, and I don't need you. This case is mine. It's what the victim would have wanted. You knew the victim? So it really is her. But be not afraid, everyone, for the goddess of justice will guide us to the truth. You sure will. Now that I'm here, everything is going to be alright. Whoever did this will live to regret it. I'll show them with Eek! Miles Edgeworth, who is this imbecile?
Why am I getting the death glare? I've got nothing to do with him.
Francisca von Karma, I presume. My apologies. I should have introduced myself sooner. Verity Gavel, at your service. And the deceased in this case is... Rosie Ringer, attorney at law, and a member of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. I see, that would explain the key card. So you're the lead prosecutor? Yep, which means this case will be solved today. Yay! You didn't tell me your name yet, little boy. If you want to know my name, all you have to do is... Ow! Stop babbling and tell me, now. It's Eustace Winner. I think we've established where the balance of power lies in this particular room. Mr. Guy in charge? Here, this is from Grandma. What's this? Oh, the preliminary findings. Looks like it's game over for you, Edgeworth. This isn't a game, Mr. Winner. Alright, that's me done. See ya next stiff. Yeah, home time. I can murder a bowl of noodles right about now. We're out of here, everybody. Stay healthy. Let's see. So the wound on her head is from when she fell over after she died? Eustace. It was the candle holder that killed her, huh? And she died sometime late last night. What now, Gavel? It's very kind of you to share the coroner's findings with everybody, Eustace. But perhaps you should leave it there. We wouldn't want you to strain your voice, after all. No, that would be a tragedy. Anyway, that settles it. We need to arrest Kay Faraday.
What? What the heck are you talking about?
I think Eustace's meaning was very clear. Miss Faraday is the murderer. And though she is dressed differently than usual, this young lady covered in bandages is Miss Kay Faraday herself, correct? You really mean to arrest her here and now? If you do, then I'll be forced to object, loudly and forcefully. And as if further confirmation were needed, there it is. The committee was right to call your conduct into question. It is questionable in the extreme. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, just go. It's fine.
Fine, this is anything but fine, Kay.
I still don't remember anything. So maybe I did do it. Maybe I killed that poor woman and I just don't remember. The goddess smiles on those who confess their sins. It is her wish that our confessions cleanse us. He applauds your commitment to the cause of justice, as do I. Judge Cavell, Eustace, if you really intend to arrest Kay, could you at least explain your grounds for doing so? I, for one, certainly don't intend to yield, not until I've seen some evidence to support your accusations. And then allow me, prepare to be hit with a face full of deductive genius, Edgeworth. Okay, why I think Kay did it. This is bound to be a really good, excellent explanation. They call it the human race because somebody has to win it, and that somebody is me. I won this race too. I saw it before anybody else did. Kay Faraday is the murderer, no doubt about it. She snuck into the committee chamber looking to do some of her trademark great thieving, which means that nobody but her could have killed Rosie Ringer.
Deductive genius? That was a total mess.
And if Detective Gumshoe is saying that, you know it must be bad. I asked you to explain your grounds for arresting Kay, yet you have explained exactly nothing. True, but we haven't seen any proof of her innocence either.
It's alright, Kay. Mr. Edgeworth will pull off a miracle somehow. You just gotta believe in him.
My deductions are an act of divine intervention, you know. Well, Miles Edgeworth, I'd hate for you to disappoint me, but in the event that you do, I will be sure to freely let you know. Rebuttal. They call it the human race because somebody has to win it, and that somebody is me!
Hold it!
There are two major flaws with the statement you just made. Flaws? In a statement of mine? I don't make mistakes. It's literally impossible. And that's a third flaw right there. You're just trying to confuse me! It's a cheap tactic, even for you. Well, it won't work because I'm the world champion of not getting confused. So there. I won this race too. I saw it before anybody else did. Kay Faraday is the murderer, no doubt about it.
Hold it!
Would you mind explaining the grounds for your accusation in a little more detail? Well, if you insist, prepare to be wowed, Edgeworth. I figured it all out before anybody else even had the chance. Before I even saw the scene. No, before I even heard about the case. I knew it right away. She did it. She's the murderer. It can't be anybody else. Eek! Your grounds. Yes, sorry. I was just getting to that. She snuck into the committee chamber looking to do some of her trademark great thieving.
Hold it!
Oh, really? And what was it she was trying to steal? Well, a file. A very particular file. One pertaining to your professional conduct, in fact, Mr. Edgeworth. And you can prove that she needed this file badly enough to steal it.
Overruled!
Oh, there'll be no need to go into that. Well there, Mr. Prosecutor? No, that, won't be necessary. What? Please, Mr. Winner, continue. Which means that nobody but her could have killed Rosie Ringer.
Hold it!
And you have proof that it could only have been Kate who committed the murder? Nope. Then might I suggest you try looking into other possible suspects with all due haste? For that, I believe, would be the winning approach here. The winning approach?
Overruled!
According to the reports we've received, the police have found no signs of anyone else's involvement. So you're accusing Kay based on that alone? A little tenuous, even for you. And suggesting that there are other possible suspects, when there clearly aren't, isn't? Ugh, if only I had something that could prove Kay didn't do it. This is obviously a setup, plain and simple. You don't have to. It's alright, Kay. The truth will come out, I promise. I just need you to give me some time. Oh, okay. Kay isn't capable of murder. There's no way she killed Miss Ringer. But I have to prove that somehow, or she'll remain a suspect. He can't have snuck in because you need a fucking key card, dipshit.
Objection!
Are you familiar with this room, Mr. Winner? It certainly sounds like you are. What can I say? Winners know where winners go. I'm number 1 and 2 and 3.
In other words, the majority of your work is second, if not third rate.
Why do you always have to make fun of me?
You can take it as a slight if you wish, but the fact remains that you seem unfamiliar with this key card.
What do you take me for? Of course I'm familiar with it. You need one of those to get in here. Don't you?
Have you no shame? Mr. Winner, do you really even suspect Kay?
Of course I do! She did it! Faraday's the killer!
Then perhaps you can tell us how Kay got into such a secure room as this without a key card?
Ah! Well, she... You know, there was the... And she... Yeah.
A masterful summary. Now, as we know, only members of the committee have key cards. Therefore, only they can enter. Precisely. Why is she agreeing with me? Please, take a look at this. I had security pull the data earlier. As you can see, the door to this room was opened at 12:52 a.m. with Miss Ringer's king card. We cannot know for certain, of course, but who's to say the culprit didn't enter the room with Miss Ringer, and then kill her over some sort of subsequent disagreement? It's certainly a plausible theory, but that's all it is. For one, it would require the victim and her murderer to have known one another.
Yeah, and Kay didn't know the woman, I'm sure of it.
Overruled.
How can you possibly be sure of such a thing? That's pure speculation on your part, detective. And we'll be right back after these short messages.
Okay, we're back.
Let's get back into this.
There is no place for guesswork in the courtroom or at a crime scene. Hard evidence is what is required. In that case, are you suggesting that you have said hard evidence to support your theory? Evidence that Kay Faraday and Rosie Ringer knew one another?
We're still here? You still have the ad break playing?
But of course. What? No? Okay. I have here a letter. Dr. Hertz found it in the victim's chest pocket.
As in with the whole bodies in the freezer thing? No, this is different. This is a different case entirely. Where in this body is fresh.
Another of the victim's possessions, and you kept this to yourself until now? You planned for this, didn't you? Is that why? It was the candle holder that killed her, huh? And she died sometime late last night. But what now, Gavel? It's very kind of you to share the coroner's findings with everybody, Eustace. But perhaps you should leave it there. We wouldn't want you to strain your voice after all. Ha ha ha. Shall I read it for you? Rosie, thanks so much for agreeing to help with my plan. Now we can both get what we want. Good luck getting your revenge for what happened 12 years ago. Hey, this would seem to indicate pretty strongly that the two of them were accomplices, wouldn't you say? Accomplices in a plot to steal from the very room in which we are standing. No! Wait, so your principal suspect is Miss Kay Faraday for this second crime as well as Miss Ringer's murder. I'm the principal suspect?
Don't listen to her. It's all lies, all of it. You're not like that. You'd never do any of the stuff they're accusing you of.
Then how do you explain this letter, Detective? Ah! Unlike Mr. Winner, I suspected that Judge Gavel herself had some proof to support her accusation. But I didn't expect it to be quite so definitive. Nicely done, Gavel! Thank you, Eustace.
Hold it!
We're not done here yet. I still have questions, and you'd better have answers. Would you mind if I handled this, Eustace?
Why does she have the average amount of bandages present on Hank's person during any Madness Combat episode? I've never heard of Madness Combat, so I don't know who Hank is, but she certainly is wrapped up in extreme amount of bandages, to be sure.
Be my guest. Have fun arguing with Edgeworth into the ground. You can't let them steamroll me on this. I have to find a way to take back the advantage.
We don't know what happened to her. But something happened and she has amnesia.
Case letter. As the letter more than adequately proves, Miss Faraday and Miss Ringer were acquainted. It seems Miss Faraday had asked for Miss Ringer's help in a plot of some kind. But for whatever reason, their alliance must have broken down. Miss Ringer lost her life in the resulting disagreement, but she had one last card to play. The letter she kept safe in her left chest pocket, which spells out the name of her killer.
She's good. Better than ever, even. Think you can take her down, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, of course. Don't do this out of pride, Miles Edgeworth. If you're going to fail, do it on somebody else's time.
Hey, whose side are you on, sir?
There is only one side to be on, Scruffy. The side of the truth.
Uh-oh. Looks like the kid's got something to say.
Well, if there's only one side to be on, then it has to be on the win. Ah! Quiet, you.
My thoughts exactly.
I love that Eustace is getting fucking whipped by by Franziska. I love that. I love that for him. He really deserves it. Case letter. As the letter more than adequately proves, Miss Faraday and Miss Ringer were acquainted.
That is amazing. It sure is amazing. It's the best.
Hold it!
What exactly was the nature of their relationship?
Glad Mrs. Foolish finally put that whip to some use. Yeah. On a foolishly foolish fool who foolishly fools around.
Miss Faraday was grateful for Miss Ringer's cooperation, just as the letter says. I think that more than adequately describes it, don't you?
Now, as I was saying, it seems Miss Faraday had asked for Miss Ringer's help in a plot of some kind.
Hold it!
Can you tell us any more about this plot?
The letter implies a theft.
And it was written by your friend Faraday, making her the prime suspect. Case closed.
Objection!
Anybody can forge a letter. It's not conclusive proof of anything.
Overruled!
I also seem to recall Miss Faraday referring to herself as a great thief on more than one occasion.
She's on sabbatical.
How can you be so sure of that? It's unlikely she would tell you if she had resumed her activities, surely. Perhaps she took up stealing again, and simply chose to keep it from you?
I can't prove that either way right now, and she knows it.
As I was saying, it seems Miss Faraday and Miss Ringer were involved in a plot to steal something. But for whatever reason, their alliance must have broken down.
Hold it!
Whatever reason, could you be a little more specific?
Not at the moment. But I am sure our investigation will uncover any number of possibilities. Whereas your lack of proof that Miss Faraday is innocent continues to be a major problem for you.
Objection!
I can see that some of the evidence would seem to point to Kay's involvement, but none of it is anywhere near conclusive.
Overruled!
A letter explicitly outlining a connection to the victim, backed up by supporting evidence from the scene? How much more conclusive could it be? And what's more, where is your proof to the contrary? Miss Ringer lost her life in the resulting disagreement, but she had one last card to play.
Hold it!
Is there any actual evidence to show that Kay killed Miss Ringer? Something. Oh, you got a 3-stream streak. Congratulations. People have been getting stream streaks more often on my stream. It's actually pretty spectacular. Is there any actual evidence to show that Kay killed Miss Ringer? You don't give up, do you? What do you call that letter, huh? Evidence. Duh. I wouldn't be so sure. For one thing, it doesn't mention anything resembling a murder plan. It doesn't? Oh, I guess not, huh? Aha! But it will once we hold a flame to it and reveal the secret writing.
I wouldn't place too much hope in that revealing anything, Eustace. And we don't need it to. Not when we have. The letter she kept safe in her left chest pocket, which spells out the name of her killer.
Hold it!
We were able to examine the pocket in question for ourselves.
And you want to know why the letter wasn't there, I assume?
It's simple. The police's #1 priority was handing it over to me.
The victim had kept it on the left side of her chest, next to her heart, in other words, to indicate her heart's desire that her killer be brought to justice.
You love Eustace's hair, lined straight up in the shop sprite. They call that, excuse my language, dumbass hair. I have little interest in sentimental speculations about Miss Ringer's desires, but one thing does interest me. The fact that you said the letter was in the victim's left chest pocket.
It is the truth, as the goddess is my witness.
Oh, you figured it was something like that? Yeah.
That is where the letter was found. There is no doubt about it.
The same place where she was stabbed with the candelabrum. I think that might prove to be a very important clue. I can't imagine Kay writing a letter like that. But unless we can get more out of Judge Gabelle, I don't think we'll be able to prove that she didn't. I should try pressing the good judge on some of her statements and see if she let something slip.
Objection!
So the victim kept the most vital clue of all closest to her heart. How very touching.
The voices of the dead fight to be heard, and even then they don't always reach us. But her voice rang loud and true, and it told us that Miss Faraday is her killer.
I think you may have misheard her, Your Honor. Or perhaps an evil spirit was trying to mislead you. Hey! You take that back! Perhaps we should try listening to the words of the coroner's report instead?
By all means. If I recall correctly, the victim was stabbed on her left side. No.
Yes, I'm afraid so. You claimed that the letter was found in the victim's left chest pocket.
Right where she was stabbed by the candle holder.
Indeed. 3 puncture wounds to the chest, and yet not one to the letter? Miraculous, no? Well, Judge Gabelle, how do you explain that? because I can think of one explanation, that the letter was deliberately placed there after the fact in order to cast suspicion on Kay. Someone went to a lot of trouble to create the crime scene we see before us. Cuphead could be the killer. Now that would be pretty good. I mean, she could be. Let's see. These are all the people we have available to us right now. This is the murder victim. It's not Eustace. Eustace is just not the sort of person to murder anyone, I don't think. It's obviously not Franziska, because she just came on the scene. Could be Cavell. It's not Granny. And I doubt it's Florence. Let's see if any other characters pop up. And that someone is the real culprit who almost certainly also forged this letter. No. It's clear that the culprit intended to frame Kay by means of that letter.
And you fell for it, hook, line, and sinker.
Objection!
No, Faraday did it! The letter was... It was in our other pocket. Yeah.
Huh? Seriously?
The whole left chest pocket thing was a mistake. Whoever reported it must have meant their left. Ah!
Stop your foolish floundering, you foolishly foolish fool. Or are you just that incurably foolish?
Why do you keep whipping me? And stop making fun of my deductions! Yeah!
There, I saved you the trouble of disciplining him. Yes, even though I had no intention of doing so. I feel bad when Detective Gumshoe gets whipped, because he's so sad about it. But when Eustace gets hit, it's amazing. Whoops, I accidentally skipped. Okay, let me read that.
The letter is stained with blood, which suggests it had indeed been placed somewhere on her left side.
I feel like only slightly bad for Eustace, but it's very much dismissible. Yeah. Therefore, I doubt there was some sort of mistaken report. Not unless that report was given by you.
Cavell, say something!
No objections? Good. Then allow me to continue.
So we have established the existence of a second suspect. No, we haven't. The murderer had to get in here, remember? Who else could have gotten in apart from Faraday and Ringer? Whoever it was would have needed a key card. Judge Cavell proposed that the killer enter the room together with the victim. But what if there was something questionable about the very basis of her theory itself? This piece of evidence points to another suspect other than Kay. The base? Hello, I have a plan. How you doing? The base is a very unique shape. If it were removed from a dusty shelf or something, it would be immediately obvious what had been standing there. The prongs of each arm are covered in blood. The spacing matches that of the wounds in the victim's chest. But is this really the murder weapon?
Take that!
Look again at the keycard record provided by Judge Cavell a short while ago. As already noted, the victim's keycard was used at 12:52 a.m. I'll say goodnight and I look to support you. Thank you for the lurk! I really appreciate it. But you will note that someone else's keycard is also listed. A mystery person who could have entered beforehand and lay in wait for the victim, you mean? This other person entered at 10:15 p.m., so it's certainly not outside the realm of possibility. Except, I'm afraid it is.
And where's your evidence, huh, Your Honor?
My evidence? I am the evidence, detective. It was my keycard.
Ooh! It was hers! We have another suspect, and it's looking like it's Cavell.
There's nothing suspicious about a committee member entering the chamber as I please, is there?
No shot that it's actually Gavel. It probably isn't her, to be honest. It's probably a red herring. It's too early in the case. It's only been an hour and a half. Perhaps not, but that's also not the exonerating evidence you seem to think it is. Unless you can also prove that you yourself didn't murder your colleague.
Overruled.
What utter nonsense. What would I have had to gain from killing her?
Objection!
I am sure you know how I'm going to answer that, Your Honor. I believe further investigation will shed light on any motives you might have had.
Overruled.
I am a faithful servant of the goddess. Why would I ever resort to an act of crime? I used my keycard, that much is true, but my reason for entering this room is far from questionable.
And perhaps you'd care to tell us why?
I had business here in the committee chamber. There were certain preparations to make.
Preparations? Sounds pretty suspicious to me.
I am not at liberty to share what I was preparing for. But I am sure Prosecutor Edgeworth can make an educated guess.
My hearing. She must have been busy gathering the documents they were going to use against me. To relieve me of my badge. Alright, children, that's enough. It's good to keep our skills and our tongues sharp, especially when we're young, but that'll do for now. Who in the... Yeah, who said that? Who the fuck?
Really takes me back to the days of my youth, back when I would wrangle with a certain detective. He disappeared, you know. I hope he's out there somewhere living his best life. You'll have to forgive me. It's just, I get so emotional. Tears, I can't stop them.
Chairman Winner.
That's Eustace's grandfather? Or father? Winner? This is most likely the murderer now. Yeah. He's so suspicious looking.
Verity, my girl. Do you ever stop working? Your dedication puts us all to shame. And is this young Francisca I see before me? Dear child, when did you get so big?
Why the hell did he just barge in there sobbing? I don't know.
Uncle Winner, it's been far too long.
It's so formal. I thought we were like family. You used to sit on my knee and shout Uncle Winner at the top of your little lungs. The time goes by so fast. One can't help but shed a tear. Dad, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? A committee member has been murdered, and you're in charge of the case, my boy.
What is this? Bring your pops to work day? Silence. Do you have any idea who he is? This man is practically the right hand of the goddess herself. A former chief prosecutor and the current chairman of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence.
Now, Verity. There's no need to bring all that up. I'm just a harmless old man, really.
Allow me to apologize for the detective's rudeness. I am
Miles Edgeworth, correct? And your little subordinate, Dick Gumshoe. I am Excelsius Winner, father to this idiot boy, among other things. My wife and I were so happy when he was born. And now she's gone too. Heaven only knows to where.
Dad, here, use my handkerchief.
Thank you, son. You're a good boy in your own silly way.
Did he just dump sweat from his goggles? No, I think those are tears. Like father, like son, I suppose. Though it's hard to say who's the bigger fool.
Well, Verity, how goes the investigation?
Thank you for asking, sir. We have identified a prime suspect, 1K Faraday. We are currently trying.
Objection!
You don't have nearly enough to make her your prime suspect, and you know it. Or have you forgotten what we just discovered about the letter?
Objection!
I told you, that was just a mix-up. They got the wrong copy. Yeah!
Don't test my patience.
Alright. That's enough. Let's all just calm down, shall we?
I'm sorry you had to see that, sir. My humblest apologies.
I think you've all made your cases very clearly. All except for you, Eustace.
What? But, Dad! We are prosecutors, and it is our duty to identify suspects and bring them to justice. But I wouldn't dare call someone a suspect without evidence or a motive.
Please, Mr. Edgeworth, I know all about your relationship to the accused. Thick as thieves seems pretty apt, based on what I've heard. Kay's no criminal. She's helped us catch the bad guys loads of times.
Much about this case is still unclear, sir. Please, you have to let us...
It's heartwarming, really. The bonds of friendship are so strong among the young.
What is he doing?
But circumstances being what they are, I'm afraid those bonds won't be enough. What the heck is that supposed to mean? The prosecutor's office needs this case cleared up as quickly as possible. Time is so precious, and we have so little of it. There are so many other cases. I'm sorry, but you understand, of course, don't you?
Why does he have a Zippo? Why does he have special paper for, that special paper to light on fire? I don't get it either. This dude is just bizarre.
Alright, Miss Kay Faraday. Time to come along quietly.
Yes, sir.
You're not taking her! She's innocent, I tell you!
To defy the chairman of the committee is to defy the law itself. It is an act so brazen, a hearing won't be necessary at all. Are you prepared for Mr. Edgeworth to lose his badge over this detective?
What?
Cub just redeemed clown nose.
Wow, so many redemptions in so little time.
Cub just redeemed autism preacher. Cub just redeemed yeehaw.
The trio putting things on the model. Absolutely. My model looks lovely.
So either Kay goes down or Mr. Edgeworth loses his badge? What the heck am I supposed to do?
You'd use his badge to shield yourselves? Oh, how the committee has fallen. Hey, you're innocent. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Thank you. We've only known each other for a short while, but you've been very kind. And I'm sorry. Sorry for being a criminal. How are these placed on there? Is it like overlaid on the output to your model, or is it actually put on the model itself? So the VTubing software that I'm using for this model, VTube Studio, it lets you put items on the model. So they're just images that you can place on top of the model. Your contrition has been noted, Miss Faraday, and will be conveyed to the goddess of justice. What in the world should I do? When I was little, all I wanted was to be like my father. To become an attorney and fight for those who can't fight for themselves. But now, my fate is tied to that of this one tiny badge. One tiny badge against the life of a dear acquaintance. Who am I kidding? There's nothing to weigh up here. I guess this is it. Goodbye, Mr. Edgeworth.
Hold it!
There's Cuphead. A moment, please. Yes. What is it? Your badge? What is the meaning of this? I am returning it. From this day forth, I'm a prosecutor no longer. Mr. Edgeworth? What are you doing? Miles Edgeworth, explain yourself right now! Wait, what if the chairman is the red herring? Oh my god, there's no telling! You're giving it all up? Just like that?
You can't mean it, sir. Tell me you're kidding, please. If you're not a prosecutor anymore, then what does that make me?
I have one duty and one duty alone. To pursue the truth. If being a prosecutor means I must turn a blind eye to the very truth before me, then I will gladly shed the title to be free. I'll carve my own path, one I believe in. I won't let my search for the truth end here.
Objection!
Are you running away from the Von Karma? From me? Say what you will, Francisca. You won't change my mind. So you're leaving me behind again? I'll never forgive you for this. Never! No, no! This is all my fault! None of this would have happened if it wasn't for me. Wait, Kay, don't go! You stay right where you are, detective.
But sir,
I'm not a prosecutor anymore.
don't say that! Where you go, I go, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm always there, right by your side.
There's no need for you to do that now, detective. Simply focus on your job and do what you can.
Well now, this is no good, is it? We've let a dangerous criminal run free. I try and try, and yet it's never enough.
There's no need to worry, sir. We'll set up a cordon. She won't get far.
You'd better not. I'll be very disappointed in you if she does.
I don't have any words that are good enough to describe that man. To be continued. We're already in the middle. Okay. April 5th, 5:58 p.m. High Prosecutor's Offices, room 1202. Hey! He's not here either. Where are you?
Knockety knock knock. Special visitor.
Fender.
Whoa, talk about an unhappy face. Everything okay, big guy? You won't earn yourself too many admirers looking like that.
What are you doing here? Has something happened?
Has something happened? Yeah. I'll say. It's been all over the news. A murder in the committee chamber? I'd call that a happening, alright. And what with your hearing being today, I thought... Well, I couldn't help wondering if you were involved.
They're reporting it on the news already?
Heck yeah. A dead lawyer? A young woman on the run? They're lapping it up. It's crazy stuff. But compelling too, I gotta admit. So are you gonna give me the lowdown or what?
Well, actually...
Whoa, maybe warn a guy before blowing his mind next time. Things are even crazier than I thought.
This isn't a joke, Fender. Kay's out there somewhere, all alone and without her memory.
Not to mention being the suspect in a murder. That definitely doesn't make things any easier. But where the heck could she have gotten to? You're sure she doesn't remember Zip?
I thought she might have come here, but...
No luck, huh? Can't say I'm surprised. Sounds like she thinks she's done you wrong. She wouldn't want to cause you even more trouble by rocking up on your doorstep.
You think I don't know that? But I'm out of places to look.
Hey, take a chill pill, compadre. This isn't like you. You're wound up tighter than a clockwork monkey, which isn't a bad thing necessarily. After all, it's got even you running from pillar to post looking to save an innocent from jail. Acting like the attorney I knew you were born to be.
Look, Fender, I may have given up my badge earlier, but that doesn't mean I've decided to become an attorney. However, Kate isn't just some suspect in a murder to me. She's somebody I've come to know very well, even if we've only been acquainted for a short while. And she'd never harm a fly, let alone another person.
Blow my mind twice in 5 minutes, why don't you? Just lucky to have you in her corner, champ. Hope you don't mind me saying this, but that's quite the bond that's sprung up between the two of you. Enough to give me and your old man a run for its money, even.
It's nothing like that, really. She just likes to involve herself in my affairs.
You can say that again. From what I've seen, she likes to charge into things no holds barred. But she's done you some good, I can tell. You two make a great team. Can't say I'm not a little jealous, seeing as my partner in crime's no longer around. Anyway, you need to track her down. Connections like that don't grow on trees. I should know. Alright, how about this for a plan? You're fresh out of ideas about what she could be, and you can't just walk the streets shouting her name. So why not go back to the source? Look into how she lost her memory in the first place. You just might turn up some clues that'll help narrow things down.
That's not a bad idea. Based on what she told us, it sounds like it all started at the big building.
And that's where we're headed. Let's stop the big time. And maybe you can give your face the good news on the way.
Are vTuber models generally restricted to a humanoid form, or is that not the case? I did link to a VTuber model for robots in the Plover chat. It was a model maker. Got another robot VTuber I'd made, but it's not limited to humanoid ones.
Kay won't come frolicking back into the fold if the first thing she sees is you scowling like that.
Very funny. Hunter is truly a force of nature all on his own. I also have a friend that's like a monster. Plenty of monster VTubers. April 5th, 6:42 p.m. Big building, viewing platform. The sun sure set quickly.
Not even a murder on the premises can make this place close its doors. Gotta chase that last dollar, huh? There's hardly anybody around though. Guess we've got the whole place to ourselves.
The first step towards proving Kay's innocence is to figure out how she lost her memory.
Earth to Miles, we've got sleuthing to do. This rooftop paradise is all ours, so let's focus up and do what we're good at for Kay, alright?
I'm fucked up that sentence.
Do what we're good at, huh?
I suppose I should be grateful there's at least something we can do. Begin investigation. The beak and wings of a bird and the body of a lion. I guess these statues are meant to guard the peace of this little rooftop heaven. I have to say they're incredibly detailed, almost frighteningly so. Instead of feeling welcomed, I wonder how many people have been scared off by these instead. It's a pretty sizable cherry tree. Its flowers are just on the cusp of full bloom. According to what Kay told us, she was standing beneath this tree until she was pushed and fell. So the person in the raincoat that Kay saw supposedly approached her from the direction of the concession stand, which would suggest that she was pushed over this railing here. The railing is chest high. You'd have to try really hard to go tumbling over the edge of it. Everything looks sturdy enough, too. Pegasus, the winged horse of legend. No, wait. Isn't that a horn on his forehead? No, it's a unicorn. No, that can't be right either. Unicorns don't have wings. What's this? There's a little plaque there at the bottom showing the name of the piece. Contradictions. That'll teach me to bother engaging with such things. You can insert a coin to take a good look at the distant landscape for a few minutes. They absolutely would have been all over this. Okay, I know anyway. But for now, I'd better focus my powers of observation on this rooftop. It looks like a TV for showing announcements from the various companies in the big building. But at the moment, it's just showing a regular broadcast channel. What am I standing here for? The Steel Samurai isn't on today. Mr. Edgeworth, we meet again! What are you two doing up here? Well, seeing as we came all this way, we thought we might as well enjoy some cotton candy. What the heck are you doing here? Looking to get yourself in even more hot water? You needn't worry about me, Dr. Hertz. I'll be just fine. Whatever you say, Mr. Soon-to-be ex-prosecutor turned ex-prosecutor. Saw that coming a mile off. Wait, what? You got fired? As I said, you need to concern yourself with my affairs. If you say so. So, oh, how's Kay doing? Uh-oh, did something happen? Maybe I can help? How about an injection?
No injections, thank you. Unfortunately, a jab a day does not keep the world's troubles at bay.
Yeah, it did get kind of chilly, huh? Come on, let's head home. Alright then, Mr. Edgeworth. Catch you again soon.
Hey you! Yeah, you! How about some delicious Parting Clouds cotton candy to brighten your day?
Parting Clouds? The name for the fact that we're so close to the clouds up here?
Our gimmick is we take a normal serving of cotton candy and we split it in half. Part it, if you will. Half the candy, half the same price, double the profit, and we're laughing all the way to the bank!
I don't think your customers will be laughing if you keep sharing that information quite so freely. Those things don't go together. mind me. I was just lying in wait.
That would make you a criminal, Kay. Perhaps he meant to say laying low?
Oh, yes. That...
Nevertheless, I doubt people will look kindly on a suspect haunting the site of her supposed crime. Surely you understand that, even in your current state. On top of which, while you've been playing hide-and-go-seek, I've been worried sick and frantically trying to find you.
Are you mad at me?
Of course I am. Now, what were you thinking coming back here? Did you think your amnesia would excuse your recklessness?
No! I came to try and help you get your badge back.
What?
I thought if I could get my memory back, I might be able to remember killing that poor woman. I thought if I came back to where I lost my memory, maybe I could...
Heh. There's one thing you haven't lost, you know. Your ability to surpass my expectations at every turn. I couldn't be more certain now that you're the Kay I know so very well. However, I don't appreciate you being so reckless. Do you hear me?
I'm sorry.
Seriously, Miles, you're killing me here. You were banking good guy points, and then you went and blew it by blowing your top. Good to see you, kiddo. Great. Glad to see you're safe. Come on, bring it in.
Okay.
That's the spirit. Not now, Fender. Yeesh, I was just trying to lighten the mood. Live news now from the big building, where a shocking murder took place earlier today. Police continue their hunt for a young woman known to have been present at the scene. She's considered the prime suspect, and police say no effort is being spared in trying to track her down. Ooh, mama. They're not messing around, huh? Well, team, what's the plan? Looks like the clock's ticking down, and fast.
Indeed, it's only a matter of time before they find us.
Alright, first things first. Hey, you're sticking with us from now on, capiche?
But I've caused you so much trouble already.
You can hardly make things any worse for me at this point.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Then it's settled. We're in this together like the Three Musketeers. Miles here will be in charge of proving Kay innocent. And I will, believe me. So I'm gonna need you to do everything you can to help him with his investigating. Okay, Kay?
Yes, of course.
Great, now we've gotta move quick. I'll be getting back for the boys in blue before we've even started. You two may not have any more to lose, but your Uncle Eddie sure does. Gregory would never forgive me if I got the family office shut down. Thank you, Fender. I'm sure I owe you more than I'll ever really know.
I hope I've been of help to you so far. I came back here because I thought it might jog my memory.
How about we go over what you remember one more time?
Okay, I was standing under the tree sheltering from the rain. Then I saw a person in a red raincoat. And then they pushed me.
Do you remember anything specific about the person in the raincoat?
I'm sorry, I just can't recall anything. Oh, but there is one thing. I could see the moon over their shoulders as they came closer and closer.
The moon?
Yes, it's all very fuzzy, but it was in the exact same place it is right now. Floating up there above the cherry blossoms.
So the moon was visible over the mysterious person's shoulder. Huh? That's new information. I should keep it in mind.
I keep feeling like there's something just on the edge of my memory.
There is? Could be the clue we need. Alright, just let it float to the top of your mind and say whatever comes to your thoughts.
Alright. I'm seeing... It's very faint, but I'm seeing a small restaurant. There's a counter and some seats, and there's this edible smell. A beautiful golden soup. Not too thick, and it tastes just right. It's filled with delicious noodles. They're firm, but not too firm. That's when a thought crossed my mind. I'm going to order another bowl.
A captivating memory, but sadly one that has nothing to do with the case. You used to say you were the second great thief, Yatakarasu. A noble outlaw dedicated to stealing the truth. Do you really not remember any of that?
Oh! I think you're right. I was a noble.
Not a noble, Kate. A noble outlaw. Still, I suppose you got halfway there.
The this some kind of contract? In a way, it appears to be a criminal contract of sorts, I suppose you could say. A criminal... And I wrote this? The letter isn't handwritten, so it's hard to say who actually wrote it. I see.
As you can see, they're still hard at work up on the 50th floor. That's where the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence holds their disciplinary hearings, correct? That's right. There have been people walking by the windows all evening. This is one serious investigation. Well, this doesn't make our chances of getting out of here with Kay any rosier.
We'll have to find a way to slip past the press.
I'm a cool and mysterious customer, Mazzarino, but I'm no spy.
Maybe we can use him as a decoy if things get desperate.
Okay, whatever you're thinking, quit it. I can tell it doesn't end well for me.
I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention.
As you can see, they're still hard at work up on the 50th floor. That's where the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence holds their disciplinary hearings, correct? That's right. There have been people walking by the windows all evening. This is one serious investigation.
I guess they're still working the committee chamber. The reporter's right. You can see people moving around. Wait, something's very wrong with this picture. And I can use a certain piece of evidence to help me deduce exactly that. It looks like this is being broadcast live, which means we're looking at the big building in real time. Does that mean we're on TV too? I don't think so. The camera is far away enough, and it's just dark enough that I think we'll be safe for now. At least we better be. If Kay is spotted, things will go from bad to worse before we know it. There's a contradiction here, hiding in plain sight.
Eureka!
Question, how many floors does this building have?
Easy. 50, right? Kinda ironic that just a few feet above where the committee works its ugly little schemes is a place where starry-eyed young romantics come to wish for everlasting smoochy times.
But then, what's that dark space above the 50th floor?
The gloomy underbelly of love? Wait a minute.
Exactly, the committee chamber is supposed to be on the top floor, directly beneath the viewing platform, but it actually appears to be located one floor below that, clearly contradicting the supposed facts. Maybe whoever wrote the pamphlet made a mistake?
Somehow, I don't think so. Call me crazy, but...
Yes, there appears to be a hidden 51st floor. Wow, and that's where they keep the gloomy underbelly of love?
Ugh, my heart. You didn't need to take it quite so literally, Kay.
Good, then perhaps we can take this more seriously instead.
Come on, have you met me, Miles? That might be easier said than done.
Oh, it'll still be easier than trying to enjoy your so-called jokes. Those don't go together, alright. Those don't go together either. Ouch. Okay, those go together. Thinking back over what Kay has said, the person in the raincoat approached her from the direction of the concession stand, which implies that she was pushed over the railing on the side opposite the stand. She also said that she could see the moon over this person's shoulder. But when we checked just now, the moon was in a different location than expected. Yet Kay claims it's currently in the same spot in the sky as on the night of the incident. This throws the positions of the moon and the person in the raincoat out of alignment with her story. I think her memories may have become confused somehow. Hello, miss. How you doing? What's more, if she really had been pushed over that railing, she would have never survived the fall. ¿Cómo está? I'm doing pretty good. This game's fun. Therefore, I must conclude that she may not have fallen where she thought she did. don't go together. Just rolling the feed? Okay. Tomorrow I play a game that I was asked to play by the developers. So that'll be interesting. YouTube ever recommended the best live? I hope it's me. You may have fallen, Kay, but it couldn't have been over that railing. Because if you had, you wouldn't be alive now to tell the tale. But I definitely remember standing under that tree. If I was pushed, the only way I could have fallen is over that railing. Isn't it?
Not unless the ground opened up and swallowed you whole.
The ground can just open up like that? How?
My bad, my bad. Not a joking matter. Sorry, kiddo.
But it may also be closer to the truth than you think, Fender. Let's take another look at the grounds in that area. There's a chance we might have missed something. Kate couldn't have fallen over the railing. So where did she fall? There must be a clue around here somewhere. We love inspecting the ground. Absolutely. The ground here is covered with cherry blossoms. Even though the tree is not in full bloom yet, the strong wind up here is blowing the petals right off. What about that suspicious hole? I'm examining everything else that doesn't look suspicious, just so I get more dialogue. It would have been nice if they thought to tidy up just a little, though. I guess the only other thing is this. What's this?
Looks like a service hatch. Hey, do you think you might have fallen down here instead? Nah, you'd never be as clumsy as that.
I'm sorry, I just can't say one way or the other.
My bad, kiddo. Just another one of my silly musings. You don't have to take me so seriously, you know?
I don't? Never?
Well, maybe not never. If I told you to leap lyrically into my arms. Fender! Kill Miles Arena, where's your sense of whimsy?
No, never then.
Ouch. Talk about a deep cut.
How has a whole floor between the 50th and the viewing platform remained undetected all this time?
You got me there. Kinda hard to hide a set of stairs going up to it if you ask me.
That's precisely it. Things like stairs that are normally out in the open going unnoticed by people seems a bit implausible, which can only mean the 51st floor is no ordinary floor and can't be reached by ordinary means. Then we'll just have to reach it through extraordinary means, right?
I don't know about extraordinary means. Maybe let's go for unconventional?
Indeed. Consider, if you will, the hatch we found by the cherry tree. What would you expect to find on the other side of such a hatch? A room of some kind, perhaps?
Ho ho! A secret room! Now you're talking my language.
Let's go take a look.
Oh, alright, there we go.
What is this place? Look at all that stuff down there. Is it a storeroom?
Whatever it is, I think we can safely say that this is where you fell. Go team! Strike one mystery off the list.
Yes, but the greater mystery of Kay's memory loss remains unsolved. We have a red rain-coated figure who can walk on air to count for, among other things.
Hey, can a guy bask in his success for a second? So we found a hidden storeroom. I vote we scooch on down and check it out.
We have pretty much exhausted everything up here, and it can't hurt to take a look. You can call me just for I miss. Okay. Investigation complete. Is that you, Mr. Edgeworth? Emma, what are you doing here? I heard about what happened from Detective Gumshoe. I was in the area, so I thought I'd come by and see what's going on. This is Emma Sky. She's a high school student, currently studying in Europe to become a forensic scientist. The younger sister of a former superior of mine. We've also stood in court together. The detective called me up in a panic. He said your badge fell off of the big building and that Kay was in a man's suit and... Was it right there? Didn't you just leave to go back to Europe a few days ago? And you're back again already? Yep, I'm here with one of my professors. And not to do any schoolwork or anything, just some interpreting. Then shouldn't you be off doing that instead of gallivanting around a crime scene? Oh, it's fine. There's this wonderful thing called body language after all. That's not an actual language, Emma. Anyway, never mind me. This is about Kay. How is she? Where is she?
Oh shucks, isn't that sweet, K-Meister? Your little friend is worried about you.
Oh, yes. Who's this guy? Don't tell me you went and got a new assistant, Mr. Edgeworth.
Very funny, young lady. It's actually the other way around, you know. Eddie Fender, attorney at law, and senior partner at Edgeworth & Co. law offices.
Edgeworth? So you are his assistant? Wait, attorney? Since when were you a defense attorney?
I'm not.
To say it's complicated is an understatement.
Let's not sweat the details for now, yeah? First things first.
But an attorney, Mr. Edgeworth? Really?
Oof, it's like I'm not even here.
What is this, some kind of weird experiment? Perhaps we should head down below? I'll explain there. I agree, the police could be here any minute. Who's this? I'll explain later, Emma. Come on, time to go. Oh, alright. You'd better explain yourself, Mr. Hotshot Pro Attorney. Trust me, I'll explain that too.
Okery-dokery-doo! Down the hatch we go.
To be continued again. That's a lot of to be continued. April 5th, 7:06 p.m. Question marks?
It's dark as a grave down here. Can't see the nose in front of my roguishly handsome face.
Hotshot Pro Attorney Pro Max Plus Supreme. Now that's a title. Watch your step, Emma. Ouch, I hit my head on something. Make your way down slowly, Kay. I don't want you to slip. Oh, yes, Mr. Edgeworth.
There's gotta be a light switch here somewhere. Ah, bingo.
This is... So the hidden 51st floor really is being used as a storeroom. We'll need to take a careful look over all these items. Alright, Mr. Edgeworth. You promised me an explanation or 3. I did indeed. Where to even start? Wow, a lot's been happening, huh? What a case! It's not supposed to fill you with excitement, Emma. Seems you've gotten yourself into a real pickle, Mr. Prosecutor Attorney. I'm not an attorney, or a prosecutor anymore. Well, whatever you are, I think it's time for a science to lend a helping hand. Don't worry, I brought my entire kit with me. Well, if you're sure. Are you kidding? I live for moments like this. Here, let's make this all official. Good working with you again, Mr. Edgeworth. And you, Miss Guy.
And then there were 4. Right, everyone, let's get to work.
I want to know where that elevator goes.
Looks like it goes down?
It's something we'll certainly want to investigate further, but we should look around up here first.
Aye aye, Captain. Let me know if you find anything juicy.
I'll keep trying to see what I can remember. I'll let you know if anything comes to mind. Thank you, Kay. Emma? Ready, willing, and able to investigate, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well. Then let's begin. Begin investigation. It's kind of creepy, all these masks lined up here in the dark. Not a fan of horror movies, I take it? No way! That stuff's so unscientific! I think you mispronounced terrifying. That mask! That's global hero Onyakapone! And why is that so shocking? You really don't know? Everything about the show is secret. When it's on TV, who makes it? But the merchandise is super rare. It sounds to me like whoever made it may have simply gone out of business. That's Captain Saipon. He's super popular overseas. Everyone loves dressing up like him. Kids, adults, you name it. I find the flower on his head a little excessive myself. What TV show are these from? I don't know a whole lot about it, but I believe it's called The Students of Starry School. It's about an elementary school where the students are all superheroes. Ad starts in 1 minute. The masks are models on sports safety helmets or something, right? And maybe the number of eye slits tells you their student number. So the one on the left would be number 1, and the number on the right is number 2. I suppose that could be it, yes. And that would mean a ton of slits for the kids with the highest ID numbers. I have to admit to being a little intrigued by this school now. She's the only heroine the Steel Samurai series needs. You can say that again. I love the Pink Princess. You watch shows like that, Emma? Of course! You love them too, right?
Well, I don't really know all that much about them, but sure.
Really? Because I saw the Steel Samurai figure in your office, so I thought...
Ugh! I can't believe even Emma's seeing it. You put it in your office, dude. Of course people are gonna see it. Okay, be right back. Ad break starts soon.
Okay, we're back. It's the Steel Samurai and the Nickel Samurai. The Nickel Samurai always seems kind of pleased with himself to me. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just about being skinny and cool, you know? There's more to it than that. I'm Team Steel all the way.
You've just gone up in my estimation, Emma.
These are all case files from various murders. What? But why would they be in here?
They should be safely under lock and key at the courthouse of the prosecutor's office, which would suggest that somebody removed them without permission. Something very suspicious is going on here. We need to find out more. Okay, deduce. Put this mask here.
Eureka!
Kay was carrying a Jammin Ninja mask when she was found, but it looks like it might have originally come from this hook. Scientifically speaking, that doesn't seem like a crazy hypothesis, which would mean that Kay was really here? As you put it, it's not a crazy hypothesis. But why? Did she come to steal something, maybe? There's all kinds of stuff here. Because she's a great thief who steals the truth, I suppose. No, I think it's too early to jump to any conclusions. There's a selection of masks arranged on the rack here. There's even a Steel Samurai. And what an impressively authentic likeness it is, too. The scientist in me is sensing something strange, though. A lack of consistency, you know? In the sense that the characters represented here feel a little haphazard somehow? I don't disagree. There's even an empty space here. Yeah, just like an empty hook. Just an empty hook right in the middle. Is somebody using that one, perhaps? Anything else to look at? Nope. These are... What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? If I'm not mistaken, several of the items on display here are pieces of evidence from old cases of mine. What are they doing here? Maybe this is where the committee stores stuff it's looking into? It can't be. Evidence like this is stored at the police department. They don't keep stuff at the prosecutor's office, too? When a case is ongoing, yes. But once the last trial is finished up, it's supposed to go right back to the precinct. Unless there's a very good reason for it to go elsewhere. And yes, here it all is. There's no point in trying to figure out the whys right now. I should take a closer look at it all. They all have labels. Labels with numbers printed on them. Exhibit numbers, maybe? You said they were all pieces of evidence, right? Yes, but judging by how the numbers are written and by the items themselves, I guess these are prices. Prices? I would have never guessed that. Wait, but none of this stuff could be worth that much money, could it? The prices are very high indeed. It's no wonder she's surprised. I must examine all of these in detail. And they even have they even have this. I think this is from Apollo Justice. A bottle of ink and a lantern, both pieces of evidence from a previous case of mine. But why? What's all this stuff that's related to you doing here? It's not as if any of it was in my possession for any length of time. The duration of the case and no longer. Perhaps this is all nothing but a coincidence. Seriously? A coincidence? I never thought I'd hear those words coming out of your mouth. We must always face up to the facts of the situation, however strange they may be. Isn't that what scientists believe too? Oh ho ho! You want to talk about what scientists believe? Settle in, this may take a while. It's a small bottle, one I've seen before. Oh, that's all? Nothing else to add? Well, no. What more did you want me to say? Hold up, I've got to write this down. Mr. Edgeworth can turn even the most boring topics into something picturesque with his explanations. Gurk, next time try taking those notes. Try taking those kinds of notes in silence. A mannequin, huh? Wait, I know. All thanks to my powers of scientific deduction, of course. It's evidence from an old case of yours, right? Not this time. I've never seen it before in my life. It doesn't seem to fit with the other items in the room either. For one thing, it doesn't have a price tag. So why is it here? That's a cute little doll. It looks kind of like the Steel Samurai. It's actually the Iron Infant, son of the Steel Samurai and the Pink Princess. He was born burdened with the knowledge that he too would one day be called upon to fight for justice. I can't imagine the pressure that must have put him under. More than most people could bear. He's such a fan. Yes, he's young, but you can sense it nonetheless. A certain tragic refinement. Edgeworth! Mr. Edgeworth, are you even listening to me? Hmm? Oh, of course. Aw, isn't he a cutie? Look at this fluffy little guy. That's the stuffed animal we found at Gourd Lake. He should be in the possession of the prosecutor in charge of that case. Oh, never mind. It wasn't from Apollo Justice. It was from the last game. So how did he wind up here? But look, he's missing his left horn. He is, but he never had it in the first place. At least not as far as we ever saw. Defective merchandise, huh? Then we need to contact the manufacturer. I demand a recall. Now that I come to think of it, why would anyone give the president a broken toy to begin with? So this storeroom is actually more of a stockroom? I guess I have this emote now. My purple Pikmin emote. I drew that myself. Isn't it impressive? So the storeroom is actually more of a stockroom? It would seem so, much as it pains me to consider such a thing. What kind of person sells off evidence from serious criminal cases? Pretty cool, thank you. And who to? Who would even want to pay for all this stuff? Somebody, clearly. The price tags are proof of that. Wow, people really will collect anything, huh? Fascinating. That's odd. This is the only spot with nothing on it. But it still has one of those signs in front of it. Indeed, and look, there's an outline in the dust on top of the cloth. I'd say something was probably sitting there until quite recently, wouldn't you? You know what? I think you might be right. I'm drawing a blank trying to imagine what. Well, I might have an idea. A star-shaped outline. Don't we have a piece of evidence that might well be connected? Yes, we do.
Eureka!
The outline in the dust matches the bottom of the candelabrum. Exactly. I'd say there's a very strong chance that this is where our murderer took it from. Which would mean the candelabrum was evidence from another case? It certainly seems likely, but that's not our concern right now. The key thing to note is that the murder weapon was taken from the storeroom. It looks like that's it. Scientifically speaking, I'd say this looks like some kind of wooden icebox. Yeah, the chains are probably to stop the cold air from escaping. I don't mean to contradict you, Emma, but isn't this just a box for storing clothes in? The wood is imbued with a natural repellent that keeps moths away. Oh, yeah, sure. Guess you could look at it that way, too. And keeping your clothes chilled would be nice for the summer, right? Still not prepared to let go of that particular part of your hypothesis, I see. A bunch of trophies and... Ooh, look! Somebody's left a walkie-talkie here. Looks to me like it was put there deliberately. Rather like it's on display, to be honest. Hey, there are batteries in here, too. It could be useful. Let's take it with us. Nobody will mind if we use it for a little while, will they? I can take it to the police station afterward. Someone's starting to sound like a certain great thief. Whoa, that's one heck of a desk. I wonder who it belonged to. There are 4 male figures acting as legs holding up the tabletop in the center. It's hideously cringy. And it doesn't even have the good decency to be camp enough to loop back around. Is this from one of your old cases too, Mr. Edgeworth? No, I can't think of anyone related to any of my investigations with such ostentatiously awful taste. At least I don't think there was. How's the banknotes just left out for all to see? A little tasteless, wouldn't you say? No way, these are all $100 bills. That's a fortune right there. How many years would it take for you to make that much money, Mr. Edgeworth? Please, Emma, I don't even want to think about it. What is that giant head thing? It's the head of the great Mrs. Monkey. I remember the case well, but how did they even get it up here? Huh? Mrs. Monkey? That doesn't sound right. Are you sure you didn't get the name wrong, Mr. Edgeworth? Or misremembered it somehow?
Don't be ridiculous. As if I'd ever make such a mistake.
The statue? What is it? Got some new data for me?
Not exactly. It's just something from a case I worked on. A piece of evidence. I believe it's called the Alfred statue. And there were two of them. A real one and a fake. Whichever one this is, it shouldn't be here of all places.
You know the case, huh? Yes, you have worked on a bunch of different... Gotcha! Pontiac, red dang-handed. Guiltier than a tomcat covered in cream. Ah!
My eyes! Stop that at once!
Ain't no stopping my snapping, not till I got every dang detail and then some.
Lot of hearts!
Y'all think I'm about to let a bunch of dirty criminals go before I get the shot? Think again. We're not criminals. Yeah, sure. Well, the other one, it's got bells on. This here camera's a weapon of justice. It ain't about to be hornswoggled by your cheap denials. Oh, it's you. Huh? You're that low-down dirty jerk of a prosecutor, ain't ya?
What are you calling a low-down dirty jerk? This is Lotta Hart. A photojournalist by trade, we've crossed paths on a few occasions, especially on that one particular case. She's hard to forget, and even harder to get a word in edgewise with.
Put back in that face, will ya? That's the face of a no-good scheme if I ever saw one.
Seems I didn't leave the best of impressions on her either.
Well, it's payback time, Mr. Schemer. You ought to be thankful all I want from you is a couple of pictures. But we're just here to investigate. Sure you are. If by investigating, you mean pull the wool over Lotta's mile-wide eyes. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I thought she might listen to me.
It didn't hurt to try, I guess. But we're probably better off leaving her alone for now.
You said the statue was a piece of evidence from an old case of yours, right? It's pretty weird looking, I have to say.
It's known as the Alfred statue.
The what?
The Alfred statue.
But it says here that it's called the Alfred statue. Alfred.
What are you muttering about?
Oh, nothing. Let's carry on looking around, shall we? Wow, this is some sturdy construction. Thick floor plates, sturdy supports. At a rough estimate, I'd say it can hold the 50 of you easily, Mr. Edgeworth.
Except for the fact that it's nowhere near big enough.
You say that, but pack yourselves in tight enough, and I think you might just do it.
I really don't think so. And anyway, we have more important things to be investigating. We can theorize about the elevator once we're done.
Maybe you're right. Fine, 45, Mr. Edgeworth. 48 tops. Ask me anything. I'm all ears. I can't believe they suspect poor Kay. It's outrageous.
I couldn't agree more. But the best thing we can do right now is to stay calm and look for clues.
Except, I've been scientifically processing the situation, and I think I've come up with a better idea. Maybe we could administer some carefully targeted electric shocks directly to Kay's brain. What do you say? Might be just the thing to bring her memory back online.
That sounds more than a little risky. It sounds incredibly risky, in fact. Personally, I'm still of the opinion that searching this room for clues is the better option.
Really? But a little risk is what science is all about.
Yes, a little being the operative phrase.
I'm back for a little while to interpret for my professor, but I'm still mostly based in Europe. Gotta keep studying, so I'm the finest forensics investigator under the sun.
I'm very glad to hear you say that. Dedication to one's chosen field is a student's greatest responsibility.
It sure is, but I don't just want to get ahead academically. I've been trying hard at sports, too. Especially that one event they have at school athletics meets. You know the one.
There are quite a few to choose from.
It's huge over there, and unlike here, it's considered a real hardcore sport for adults. That's right, I'm talking about glasses battles. Who hasn't heard of those, right?
Me. Never. Not even once. We're listening to Emma Sky talk in the storeroom about how her studies are going. I got an achievement for that.
Miss Harsher seems to have a grudge against you, Mr. Edgeworth. Low-down dirty jerk of a prosecutor. He really wasn't holding back.
We've met a few times. On one case in particular.
But let's not let our attitude and sudden appearance distract us from the job at hand. We just need to gather all the facts and apply the principles of logical reasoning. By following my methods, the truth will present itself soon enough. Low-down, dirty journalist notwithstanding. Don't take this the wrong way, but if you're calling you a low-down, dirty jerk get to you, Mr. Edgeworth? Jerk! Don't be ridiculous! So, what are y'all doing snooping around a fishy old place like this, anyhow? I think it's us who should be asking you that. Me, I'm in it for the truth, for the good of society, and for little old me, of course. I'm what you might call a photographer for the people. Snapping here, snapping there, snapping every day anywhere. I'll just leave you to it then. We can talk once you've gotten it out of your system later.
Oh boy, this whole experience is enough to boggle a guy's mind. Mysterious storerooms, damsels in distress, got the lot.
Could you at least try to take things a little more seriously, Fender?
Hey, I can try. No, but seriously, I'm as keen to help Kay out as you are. She's safe with me. You go do your thing.
It's not Kay I'm worried about, it's you. We've seen items of old evidence marked with price tags, along with a huge pile of cash. I think it's pretty clear that somebody has been running an illicit trade in judicial goods. Shady deals on a hidden 51st floor? This is big! It has to be, right? I think it might be, but we'll need to investigate a little further yet. We need to find out more about what's going on here. If only there was an eyewitness we could interview. An eyewitness, huh? Why exactly are you here, Miss Hart? Me? I told ya. I'm in it for the truth, for the good of society, and for little old me, of course. I'm a photographer for the people. For the people? If you won't tell me the real reason you're here, perhaps I can hazard a guess. Somebody was carrying out an illicit police evidence trafficking scheme here in the storeroom. Oh, so she's after a juicy story. Makes sense. But how do y'all figure that out? Guess it means I don't have to tippy-toe around in it anymore now. One of my sources told me on the down low about an underground auction. What? So all the items here were sold to the highest bidder. Folks were slinging money around like it was going out of fashion. Had to come see for myself, of course. Get eyes on my subject, you know? Should have heard the tales my contact was telling. Taller than 2 trees or so, I thought at first. Anyhow, wasn't about to write it up based on hearsay alone. So yesterday I snuck in, spun behind this here statue and settled in to wait. The vision started late at night and carried right on through to the break of dawn. So the auction and the murder happened on the same night. Coincidence? Dirty deals in a secret storeroom. Talk about a story. Was there anything else on sale apart from the items of evidence in this room? Sure, there was the regular stuff too. Shady artworks from who knows where, that kind of thing. In what way are shady artworks regular exactly? But the evidence was the big draw for sure. Reckon they were selling them faster than the crooks could smuggle them out of the cops and prosecutor shops. And I'll bet you got pictures of the whole thing, right, Miss Hart? Well, you see, the main event was down below. I had to try and see what I could from up here. Having been up here since yesterday, I assume you witnessed the entire auction from start to finish then? It was an underground affair, like I said, so folks wasn't exactly giving much away. All them customers came down one at a time from up on the roof there. Threw on masks just as soon as they got down the ladder, and that ain't all. They had voice changer doodads on them, see? Teeny tiny ones, stinkier than a bug's behind. It's so you couldn't see their real faces and you couldn't hear their real voices. Surreptitious all as heck. You mean surreptitious, right? I surely do. Sweet surreptitude. Also not a word. Anywho, once they had their gear on, they went right on downstairs. And then, in came the next one. When it came time to leave, they all done the same, but in reverse. Up they came again, one by one by one. Mask back on the hook. Up the ladder and away. Whoa, that's a serious operation. And how many participants were there? 11 altogether. I counted them when they came down the ladder. I didn't just hide behind a stupid statue the whole time, you know? You didn't? Then where were you? Well, when I first got here, you know what? That ain't important right now. So you were hiding behind the statue from the very beginning. Anywho, I watched all them folks come in from a spine spot there in the shadows. I see. So you were watching from behind the statue. They used that there elevator to get down below. And once they was all down there, I snuck up and took me a peek at what was going on. You mean the elevator remained in the room beneath? Nah, they sent it back up. But there's a little peeking hole if you know where to look. Elevator don't quite sit flush with the floor, see? And if you bend down and squint just right, you can see the whole shebang. You got sight of who was in charge? Alright, sure. I guess I did. Ain't half so good a story if you don't get a glimpse of the evil ringleader after all. Why is she tapping her nose on what appears to be a Nintendo DS? I guess it was just fashionable. I wonder who this ringleader is. I'll have to ask her some more. You mentioned a ringleader. Can you tell me any more about him? Y'all should know, I came down here to get me an exclusive. And an exclusive ain't much dang good if you done spilled the beans already. I see. So you don't actually know anything about them. You think that's why she won't give us an answer? Makes sense, I guess. You got me. Couldn't see if it was a man or a woman, a kid or an old timer, nothing. What were they wearing? Could you see that at least? Sure, white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower in the lapel. Them three things is what I remember. But what good's a description of the outfit if I don't got a clue who was wearing it? So this ringleader disguised their identity too, just like everybody else? Yes, sirree. Mask, voice changer, the whole 9 yards. They were wearing one of the masks? Which one? Let me see. Oh yeah, this guy, Zervon. Zervon? What kind of a name is that? Seriously, Mr. Edgeworth, you've never heard of Zervon? He's global hero Onyakopon's arch nemesis. Who hasn't heard of Zervon the Time Lord? I think you might be better off asking who has. So you didn't get a glimpse of their face at all? No, I dang well didn't. Which kind of scotches my scoop. Sniffle, this whole mess has been nothing but a snipe hunt. I should have never come. We know of somebody who was dressed like that. Maybe I should try showing that evidence to Miss Hart. You said that the ringleader was wearing a white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower, correct? Sure did. Don't ask me why they were dressed up like that. Like a peacock on parade day, but they was. Is this the outfit you saw? Well, holy smokes, it sure as heck is. But, wait. So the big cheese is dead? All we know is that she is the victim in the case we're investigating. Her name was Rosie Ringer. Do you know her? Nope. So the ringleader was a lady? Well, ain't that just sleepier than in a dang... God, I'm having such trouble with this. Well, ain't that just slipperier than a dang deal? Throw me off with a man jaggy like that. Yeah, I hardly think she did to fool you specifically. But setting that aside for now, what's important is that we've discovered something vital to the case. Namely, that the underground auction was chaired by none other than our victim. So somebody done bumped off the box, huh? And that's what was happening. When what was happening? Oh, none at all. Y'all just go on about your business now. No offense, Miss Hart, but that made you sound about 5 times more suspicious. Suspicious my foot? I told y'all it's nothing. And you won't get nothing more out of me than that. Wait, so there is more? How many dang times do I gotta tell ya? It ain't nothing, okay? And I ain't saying nothing either way. Aw, you can tell us just a little more. Pretty please? I'll tell you this, okay? I'm a journalist, a news hound, a scoop hunter, you hear? Exclusive articles go out, money comes in. That's how the game is played. Tell you more, hey, I done told y'all too much already. Wait, what if I examine some fingerprints for you, pro bono? What kind of a cock made me think you was there? I'd sooner get a tooth pulled. You want intel, you go dig it up yourself, just like I had to. Okay, guess she isn't gonna talk to either of us. Oh, she will. I'll handle things from here, Emma. There's a certain technique I find useful when dealing with difficult customers, such as her. She may not give up the information voluntarily, but that doesn't mean she can't be persuaded to. Mind chess time? Let's start by observing our opponent. I ain't tell y'all nothing, you hear? Now quit wasting my time before I really blow a fuse. As we've seen, she's very quick-tempered. She'll try to cut the conversation dead whenever possible. I won't have much time to think, so I'll need to be swift and decisive. Miss Harsh is definitely hiding something from me. So my first move is to discover what that something is. Mind chess commence. I need you to tell me everything you know, and don't you dare leave anything out. Go jump in a creek, you big bully. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me, nor me with you neither. We love playing mind chess. Oh yes, we do. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. I better try another tack. I can see you're a little agitated, Miss Hart. Let's just calm down and try to talk reason. I am calm, dang you. Leastways I will be just as soon as y'all quit yanking my dang chain. That's better. Being a news hound's all about keeping a cool head no matter what the world throws at you, see? Speaking of news hounds, this might interest you. I met one a few days ago. She was a very hungry young reporter indeed. A reporter with a very particular turn of phrase, similar to your own, in fact. Oh yeah? She spoke like me, huh? Guess I could have been someone I knew. You do realize you have nowhere to return, don't you? Oh, quit riding me, will ya? This whole thing's a waste of my precious time. Damn! I don't have much time to think, so I'll need to be swift and decisive. Where is Winner? Eustace is somewhere else. I have no clue. Eustace is my god and savior. We got a Eustace lover in the chat. I've been giving him the most Poindextery voice. You love Eustace? Her name is Patty Lloyd. And if I had closed my eyes, I could have believed I was listening to you. She told me about somebody she called the Chief. She was talking about you, wasn't she? Oh, so y'all met Tabby, huh? Well, ain't that something? Where do y'all bump into her? She's a great kid. We love watching Eustace get whipped by Francisca. Yes, we do. Wait. Oh, no, you don't. You ain't getting on my good side bringing her into it. You sneaky snake. Ooh, you nearly had me, too. Interesting. Talking about Miss Lloyd seems to make her lower her guard a little. I think we can use that to our advantage. Time to deploy my clue. I don't have anything to do with you. That's a little unkind, don't you think? After all, I know your apprentice. I know her pretty well, in fact. Yeah, well, guess it does seem kind of cool to me to say that if you know her pretty good. Wouldn't want the poor kid thinking I don't give a rat's behind. Good, then you'll tell us what you know? Fine. See, it's like this. Got me a wait, what am I thinking? Hang it, Lotta. You can't let them bamboozle y'all like that easy. What was that about a scoop? Forget it. It was nothing. Damn it! I fucked up the mind chess. I must redo it. See, mine on my chest to a timer. embarrassing. A professional journalist making a careless slip of the tongue. You have a scoop, don't you? Now tell me what it is. Ah! Alright, I got me a scoop. A big one. But I can't just go blabbing about it to y'all. I got bills to pay. He may be hiding something very important. I have to get it out of her somehow. We need to know the details of this scoop. She's quick to anger, but she's also quick to let key information slip. Now that we know that, the rest shouldn't be too hard. Let's see what else we can get out of her. This scoop of yours, does it have something to do with the auction? You know what? I clean forget. But you tried to infiltrate an underground auction. It only stands to reason that you observed something. Otherwise, what would you have to write about? I don't know what to tell you. I didn't hear nothing. Silence me, huh? Well, two can play that game. Perhaps a little more proactivity is called for. No! You do realize you have nowhere to turn, don't you? Quit riding me, will you? Okay, so what was the other one? If you didn't hear the sound of nothing, does that mean you did hear the sound of something? Something during your time in this room? Well, see, it wasn't nothing really. Just a little noise is all. Wouldn't even make page 16. Forget I mentioned it. So something happened during the auction. Something that made a noise of some kind. This could be a valuable clue. Your big scoop involves something criminal in nature, doesn't it? Meh. Might be it did, might be it didn't. Which is it? This is important. Alright. You don't gotta holler at me like that. I ain't done nothing shameful or nothing. Just snuck in and did some undercover reporting. I'll be the judge of whether your actions were shameful or not. An unlawful entry into private property is very shameful indeed. In fact, it's a crime. Hey, you did the exact same thing, genius. But I guess you're a prosecutor, huh? You're allowed to do stuff like that. Let's not mention the fact that I handed in my badge, shall we? Still, it don't amount to a whole hill of beans, right? There's folks out there that done way worse. Murder for one. Next to murder, trespass ain't hardly nothing. From your mutterings about murder just now, I gather that your scoop has something to do with a homicide? Nah, I was just talking all hypothetical like. You know, about murder being the big one and all. Ain't nothing worse than murder. That's the most skillful evasion I've heard in my career. Look, I didn't tell you, okay? I snuck into the auction, I'll cop to that. But murder? I don't know nothing about no murder. Ain't seen none, ain't heard none. Scout's honor. I should deploy my clue. Damn it. I fucked up again. Is it gonna be from the very beginning? Oh my god, it is from the very beginning. Oh shoot, no, this isn't from the very beginning. I'm fucking it up again because I don't remember what I did. Come on. You told me you heard something during the auction. You claimed it wasn't important, but it must have been. Otherwise, why remember it? I think it was something very memorable indeed. In fact, I believe it was the cry of a murder victim. How do you keep doing that? Alright, it's true. I wound up smack dab in the middle of a murder scene, but only by accident. And that's all you're getting out of me. Won't be no scoop left otherwise. The murder Miss Hart witnessed. It must be the same murder we ourselves have been investigating. That should prove to be a very valuable piece of information indeed. Perhaps we should finish up by confirming the credibility of her claim. I have her on the back foot now. Time to finish this. I need you to describe the murder in detail. It's vitally
Just
important.
redeemed Autism Preacher.
Thank you for redeeming Autism Preacher. Wish I could help y'all, but I don't rightly recall a whole bunch. Ain't much I can tell you. Sorry. I mean, look at me. Can't even get my facts straight half the time. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. I'd better try another tack. Be honest, Miss Hart. I know there's something you're still not telling me. Ain't nothing left to tell, dang it. I done spilled my guts already. Okay, it's the last one. You said you wound up in the middle of a murder scene. Is that really true? You're calling me a liar now? Ooh, now I'm mad. Real mad. I'm a journalist. How am I gonna tell stories if folks can't trust that I'm telling the truth? I got me a motto, you know. Faster than anybody, honester than everybody. A motto, huh? That could be an important clue. I should bear it in mind. I just put my clue. I can't imagine them being so vague on the facts as a trait valued among journalists. Surely accuracy and honesty are what's necessary when reporting on a story. Well, see, it seems your so-called information is not credible after all. Look, there was a murder and I was there. I can even prove it, Grumble. You can prove it, can you? How? I've got it right. Wait, you heard that? I was just talking to myself. Don't think nothing of it. She's still hiding something. This is a very vital clue. I'll need to use it to maximum effect. I know you've been keeping something from me, and that something is proof. Proof related to the murder you witnessed. Proof sound enough to form the basis of a story you're hoping to sell. Ah! Dang it all to heck. Give me a break, will ya? I'll come clean, okay? That's what you want, right? Here, I done snapped me a photo. Happy now? You better be. And that's checkmate. Mind chess is over. Checkmate. Can't believe I let that happen. Betrayed by my own big mouth. Well, it happened, so it's time to tell us everything. I saw the whole thing. Watched the auction from start to finish. But you didn't just watch it, right? You took pictures too. Yeah, about that. So like I said, I was spying on the whole thing right from the get-go. They was all shouting out bids, and somebody wins something, and bam! Down comes the hammer. Head on upstairs and pay, shouts the old ringleader. And the whole thing starts over again. Anyhow, as soon as that happened, I had to think quick. That's when I ran behind that there statue and hid. And who was it that eventually appeared? Didn't see nothing, but I heard something that made me pretty sure it was whoever placed the winning bid. The sweet, sweet sound of cool hard cash. I'm not sure I have any idea what that sounds like. The sound of someone counting bills, perhaps? Anyhow, the deal was you settled your bills up here. I heard two people yabbering for a little while. Wait, two people came up on the elevator? You betcha. My guess is the other one was our friend the ringleader. Anyway, yabber, 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 on it goes for a little while, then a scream. Well, that shook me up pretty good. So I hunkered down in my hiding place and tried to stay out of sight. So you didn't see the moment of the murder? Nah, but I heard it real good. You didn't try and help whoever was being attacked? Quit trying to be funny, girlie. It don't suit you none. I'm just a dainty little journalist all on her lonesome. You think I was fixing to jump in and save the day? Dainty. Anyhow, then there was a bunch of rustling sounds. Right about when that was happening, I got to feeling pretty bad about what I'd done. That makes sense, I guess. After all, you didn't. I didn't remember to get out my camera and snap even a single picture. Scoop like that drops right in my lap and I miss it. Somebody ought to tan my hide. Anyhow, then a little more time goes by and there's this kind of clattering noise. I'm there thinking, gotta get the shot this time, and so I grab one real quick from in the shadows there. Your voice for a heart sounds like the typical drunk Karen you find in a body cam vid, just less aggressive. That's something else. I've never had anyone say that to me before. Have you seen this photograph? Do I have to? Here. That's the person in the red raincoat, the one who attacked Kay. So Kay's raincoated assailant also attacked the victim here in the storeroom. Then proceeded up to the roof where they assaulted Kay. There's only one person in this picture. Where is the victim? Weird, huh? I wanted the same thing. Heard two people, but there was only one in the shot I got. So it could just be the mannerisms and not the voice itself. Maybe. No, I didn't see nobody nowhere else in the room, neither. That's the killer, right? Leastways, I'm pretty sure it is. So are we saying the victim disappeared? How did you know it was the killer just by looking? Because they're literally red-handed with blood. How else would that get there, huh? And the auction just carried on after that? Sure did. They just went right along like nothing had happened. Rich folks is crazy in a box of frogs. I'll never understand how they think. Funny, I find journalists that struggle to understand as well. If the storeroom was the actual scene of the crime, then you'd expect the body to have been up here at some point as well. Huh? Well, yeah. But think back to what Miss Hart told us about how the customers left the auction. Do you remember? Of course. They came up from downstairs, back to the storeroom, and... Oh! Exactly. The killer would have had to hide the body in order to avoid its discovery. The question is, where did they hide it? Maybe in that suitcase? Emma, if you wouldn't mind putting your skills to work for me now? I'd love to. You just say what you need and I'll get right on it. Very well. Then I'd like you to check for blood residue. A luminol test, in other words. Sure thing. Prepare to witness the power of science. I've never seen somebody's eyes actually sparkle with anticipation before. Alright, how about we test the ladder over there first? Based on Miss Hart's picture, I'd say the person in the red raincoat was about to climb it and make their escape. Which means it's a high chance of a positive result. To test an area, just press A. That'll spray a little luminol on it. And if it happens to land on some blood, you'll see it react like this. Ugh, it still feels super raw to see it disappear like that. Anyway, that's a positive, but it's still faint. Spraying it a couple more times should be enough to really make it stand out. Yeah, that brought it out nicely. It made it feel that much more real. Anyway, I think you've got the gist of how to look for blood traces now, right? I'm sure there's still some more to be found, so why don't you give it a try? And that's how it's done. Take a good look around and see if you can find some other places to test with luminol. You want to test there? Sorry, it's a negative. You want to test there? Sorry, it's a negative. Negative there, but here. Just spray some luminol on any place suspicious. Mr. Edgeworth, blood! But how could it have gotten there? Maybe somebody put something with blood on it in there? There are still places we haven't tested yet. Let's see what else we can find. Ah, careful with that! You can't go around spraying others with luminol. I wasn't about to. They might have temporarily stuffed the body in there. Maybe. It's definitely big enough for a body to be put in. Sorry, it's a negative. Okay, spraying some luminol on the elevator. We've got a positive. There's blood here. But how come? Probably because this is where the murder was actually committed, I'd say. Ooh, it looks like some of it dripped through to the floor below, too. I think that's all the blood there is to be found. Alright, and that concludes this phase of our investigation. Blood in a closed box can only mean one thing. That is where the body was hidden. I'm certain of it. I wonder who won the box in the auction. I haven't the foggiest. Still, it's a very helpful discovery. Like, they jam it in there, then they were like, wait, no, I don't want the body here, let's move it. Then it moved it? Yeah. Now you just hold your horses there. There's no way the body could have been in there. What do you mean? I took a look at that there box when I first got in here. Looked to be just about the perfect size for a little hide-and-go-seek if the need arose. Maybe it would have been if I could have opened it. But it was wrapped in chains and locked up tight. And I ain't no escapologist. The murder happened just a little after I scoped it out. So can't nobody have put a body in there. Wrapped in chains and locked up tight, you say? That's odd. Because it doesn't look to be wrapped in chains any longer. Huh? Well, slap my head and call me silly. Could have sworn it was, though. I think we've examined all we can now. Great, it's time to see what's waiting down below.
Taking a leg already, are we, Miles? Okie dokie. Hey, K-Meister.
Yes, Mr. Fender?
We're about ready to move out, so I want you to stick with me, okay? Can't have you getting lost.
Of course. I'll be sure to stay close. When did those two start getting along so well? Investigation complete. April 5th, 7:43 p.m. Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence. Chamber. What?
Mr. Edgeworth!
This room. This is the auction room? No, this is the committee chamber. Way to drop right into my lap, Kate Faraday. You've got real guts, I'll give you that. Arrest her, men! Arrest her right away! Wait, but she's... As for the rest of the riffraff, throw them out into the streets where they belong. You can't do this! This is going way overboard!
Yeah, what she said. Miles, this isn't looking good, I gotta say.
See how the blinding light of justice shines on me? Ah! Yowie!
What did I do?
You'll have to forgive me. I meant to hit a certain cowardly ex-prosecutor. You weren't aiming for him, you were aiming straight at me! Something keeps getting in my way. Something... Yeah! Right there. Franziska. So, what are you doing here, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I still believe Kay to be innocent. And we're supposed to care what you believe. You no longer have the right to an opinion. I am Franziska von Karma, and I have no intention of stopping here or now. But you chose to stop by giving up your badge, and so our game has already come to an end. My badge was an obstacle to proceeding along the road I've chosen. I haven't stopped, I've simply cleared the way ahead. And now I'm free to follow that road, all the way to the truth. So don't you think for a second that my conviction has changed. I'm every bit as dedicated as I ever was. You seem to think you know what lies at the end of this road to the truth. In that case, I demand that you show me. I'll explain my current theory first, and if your road fails to lead anywhere, my whips will happily guide it. Franziska's current theory. The victim used her keycard and entered this chamber with her killer. She was then stabbed with a candelabrum by the culprit and subsequently died as a result. We know the identity of the murderer thanks to the letter she exchanged with the victim. And we know the location of the murder is here in the committee's trial chamber. The blood on the floor of this room proves my theory. Game, set, and match. Miles Edward, QED. He seems pretty confident, huh?
She doesn't lack the courage of her convictions, that's for certain. And I gotta say, I can take that vibe. I could even give her a no hard feel. Eek!
Pathetic. Well, Miles Edward, do you think you can bring my case crashing down around my ears? If you really have found the road to the truth, perhaps you'd be so kind as to point me toward it? I'll be very happy to. Settle in, Francisca. I'm about to pave that road with incontrovertible evidence. Rebuttal. The victim used her keycard and entered this chamber with her killer.
Hold it!
And you're sure the data from the security system is accurate? That data is just like me. Perfect in every way. There's no room for doubt on either front. Well, your theory is far from perfect. I suppose I'm not going to change your mind on this so easily, am I? Correct. As I said, the victim entered the room with her killer. She was then stabbed with the candelabrum by the culprit and subsequently died as a result.
Hold it!
And the stab wounds she sustained are a perfect match with the candelabrum in question. 3 wounds inflicted by metallic spikes of some kind in 3 places simultaneously. Even you have to agree that there aren't many objects that could do that. Furthermore, Grandma Hertz confirmed the murder weapon in her report. Then there's absolutely no doubt in your mind that it was the candelabrum. None whatsoever. And as for the culprit, we know the identity of the murderer thanks to the letter she exchanged with the victim.
Hold it!
Have you managed to prove conclusively that the letter found in the victim was sent by K? I wasn't aware that there was any doubt on that front. Are you suggesting it was a forgery? Well, if there was any doubt, there isn't any longer. Document analysis turned up nothing. Nothing to suggest the involvement of anyone other than the sender and the recipient, or of any forgery. Are you saying that they found case prints? No, only the victims.
Well then, how can you say for sure that Kay did the deed?
Haven't you been listening? Document analysis found nothing to suggest that the letter was a forgery. Face it, the letter was sent by Kay Faraday. A fact that more than adequately proves the identity of the murderer. And we know the location of the murder is here in the committee's trial chamber.
Hold it!
You can prove that the murder happened here in the committee chamber, I suppose? Avant Karma is perfect in every way. Or did you forget that when you handed in your badge? The blood on the floor of this room proves my theory. Game, set, and match. Miles Edgeworth, QED.
Hold it!
Has the blood been analyzed to see who it belongs to? It has, and unsurprisingly, it was confirmed to be that of the victim. And has it occurred to you that where it was found may not be where the murder in fact took place? How quickly you forget, Miles Edgeworth. Evidence is everything in the courtroom. So please, present your proof that the murder occurred elsewhere. Or kindly stand down. Proof that the murder occurred elsewhere, huh? This isn't a courtroom, but that doesn't mean I can't give her the evidence she so clearly desires. She makes a pretty watertight argument, huh? Perhaps, but she doesn't know what we know. You're right, we've got a certain scientific discovery up her sleeves. And that discovery will show her the road I found to the truth.
Objection!
If I remember correctly, the blood discovered in this room was located at the foot of the Goddess of Justice statue. Murder under the gaze of the divine. A brazen act, even for a cold-blooded killer. Except that may not be true at all. Take a look at this, if you would. It's a blood stain we discovered in the storeroom directly above the committee chamber. As you can see, the blood we found was to have dripped through to the floor below. And the elevator it dripped down from descends directly to the foot of the statue. Ah, you noticed. Then you will agree that the murder cannot in fact have happened in this room. Ad starts in 1 minute. I put it to you that the victim was killed in the room above, and only afterward was she moved down here. The goddess of justice did not witness a murder. She witnessed a killer trying to cover their tracks. Why is she smiling? Sorry, I was just thinking back to a very similar situation. Well done, Miles Edgeworth. You've proven yourself to be even more foolish than I thought.
Miss Edgeworth is anything but a fool, sir, and you know it. Youch!
Have you forgotten the picture you just showed me? Or are you really that airheaded? Even a cursory glance shows that there was far more blood here in the committee chamber than upstairs.
Ouch! Whipped and ignored again. Wish I could too!
You're trying to tell me that all of the blood dripped down from above, Miles Edgeworth? If it had, your storeroom stain would need to be 10 times as big. I say the murder happened down here. There's no way it could have happened anywhere else. As insightful as ever, Francisca, but you played right into my hands. How so? You are correct. There is far less blood upstairs than one would expect. The question is, why? A trifling detail on the face of my previous explanation. Alas, your explanation doesn't account for why there was blood in the storeroom in the first place. Surely you don't think some spatter managed to shoot itself all the way up there, do you? Whoa! Like some crazy fountain of blood? No way! No way indeed. It's completely impossible. So how about this? What if this explains the difference in the amount of blood observed? There was far more blood in the committee chamber than in the storeroom above because... The victim died of 3 stab wounds, wounds that would have bled profusely. Exactly, as proven by the amount of blood we found on the floor of this room. Okay, be right back! Okay, we're back. Exactly, as proven by the amount of blood we found on the floor of this room. But that doesn't make any sense! Not if you were stabbed in the storeroom. You said there wasn't much blood up there already. Eek! Silence, you half-baked, harebrained rookie. Hey, harebrained is a little... Ah! A stab wound bleeds heavy as at one particular point in time. Oh, I know. When the weapon is removed, right? Precisely. I believe the body was brought down to the committee chamber with the candelabrum still in its chest. Well, if I can learn how to make a VTuber model, maybe I'll be able to convert my persona to the third dimension? You could, yeah. You could, use Blender. And then, when it was finally removed, it created the difference in the amount of blood we see between the two locations. But why? What was the killer trying to do? I imagine they were trying to give the impression that the murder happened down here. As we know, Miss Ringer's keycard was used late last night. Judging by the time listed in the record, I'd hazard a guess that it was used by the killer. That's not very VTuberable, is it not? Using Blender? People use Blender all the time. When they entered the room to create their elaborate setup. But why would they have needed to do all this in the first place? Perhaps because a person with a face to hide would fear the storeroom being found in the investigation. If they were involved with the underground auction, they couldn't afford to have their dirty secret exposed. Underground auction? You should take a look at the storeroom for yourself. The items up there tell quite a story. One that should more than explain what was going on here last night. It's almost endearing, Miles Edgeworth, how desperately you want to protect your friends. There is something just beneath the surface of this case. Something bigger than all of us. And Kay's only crime was to have the bad fortune to fall right into the middle of it. That's quite the hyperbolic claim, Miles Edgeworth. Hyperbolic? Me? Surely you're the one making a mountain out of my perfectly reasonable molehill. You're working with Interpol on international cases. But why are you investigating a domestic murder? I'll tell you why. Because this case has something to do with the smuggling ring you've been chasing. You followed the trail of items being smuggled by the ring and wound up here. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that the something I sense isn't related to any of this. I'm very happy to learn that you giving up your badge didn't completely relieve you of your senses. Scruffy here told me about the circumstances that led up to that, by the way.
Sorry, sir. I just thought it might help, you know?
You did the right thing, Detective. So am I right, Francisca? Is this incident part of the broader case you're working? Was the underground auction already on Interpol's radar? Wouldn't you like to know? But you don't need to, and so you won't. Then you knew, didn't you? That the auction was being held here in this chamber. Hey, y'all mind if I butt in for a sec? Your victim over there, the lady in the white.
You?
Hey, let a gal finish, will ya? No good butting and pain in the you-know-what. Youch! Well, this lever sure ain't changed her spots. Your testimony is not required, and neither is your presence. What do you mean? I'm a journalist. You can't— Ow! You're a liar is what you are. You lied under oath that one time. Seems like Miss Von Karma's not too far of Miss Hart, huh? I don't think she's her biggest fan, no. What's she called? Ringer, right? She was a member of this here committee? Well, she's dressed exactly like the ringleader of that their secret auction. Ah! Stop it! Stop whipping me, dang it! What is the meaning of this interruption? Miles Edgeworth, explain! Miss Hart here helped us out by describing how the auctioneer was dressed. And it seems they were wearing the exact same outfit as the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. But that would mean that the victim was also the ringleader.
No, how about we just come to stir her?
It seems I have some new information to consider. It's true that I came here to investigate the underground auction and to arrest its head of operations, the auctioneer. But if Miss Hart is to be believed, the ringleader is dead. I guess that means our journey here today was wasted. I suppose it does. Nonetheless, I, Francisca Von Karma, I refuse to leave empty-handed. Time for a rematch, Miles Edgeworth. Fine by me, but you may find that your whip will go sorely underused this round. Francisca's latest theory. Fine, I accept your little explanation. That would make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes? In which case, case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction. And if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was an attendee. The killer laid in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place. They then stabbed the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabrum. There, does that about sum it up? Because I won't be accepting rebuttals. I'm afraid you might have to. There is a serious hole in your testimony. There is? I didn't spot any. I think you're the one in charge here, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright then, time to fight back. You have to win this for us. And I will. Time to take Francisca's testimony to task. Rebuttal. Fine, I accept your little explanation. That would make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes?
Hold it!
You conceded that point rather easily. I can't help but be suspicious. I'm not in the habit of denying facts that are readily supported by the evidence. That's all there is to it. You are able to show that the murder actually took place in the storeroom. In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction.
Hold it!
And how exactly did you come to that conclusion? Members of the big building staff were questioned extensively, but none mentioned a secret storeroom. It seems its existence was known to only a handful of people. And of course, that storeroom was where the items that were to be sold in the auction were being kept. Very good, which suggests a link between knowledge of the storeroom and involvement in the auction. And if the photographer is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was an attendee.
Hold it!
Do you believe that the victim and the ringleader were one and the same? I do. And the murderer was. Why are you asking her this? You just did the exact same thing yourself, dummy. So I did, but I was merely confirming Francisca's reasoning in order to... Oh, don't give me that horse feed. You get caught saying something stupid, you give a little laugh and move on with your day. The murderer was one of the auction attendees. What? You don't get no notes for our friend here after that little performance of his? Of course, assuming that our friend the photographer's word can be trusted. I can't quite tell if they love or hate one another. Anyway, the more relevant point here is how the culprit actually carried out their plan. The killer lay in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of illicit goods was to take place.
Hold it!
How exactly did they manage that, may I ask? His heart was in the storeroom too, remember?
Objection!
Yes, hiding someplace. And if you've seen the storeroom yourself, you'll know that there are plenty of other places to hide too. So you're saying the killer was hiding out of sight while they awaited the victim's arrival. I believe we can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction had concluded. After all, the victim was the auctioneer herself. She would surely have needed to be present throughout the proceedings. Do you think that happened afterward? Would you mind adding that statement to your testimony, Francisca? I believe we can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction had concluded.
Hold it!
After the auction had ended, you say? And you're sure of that? If the victim was the auctioneer, I don't see how else it could have happened, do you? I mean, she's right. You can't have an auction without an auctioneer. No, you can't, can you? Why does that suddenly feel significant? They then stabbed the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabrum.
Hold it!
How do you know that the candelabrum was one of the auction lots? Because if the murder weapon had been deliberately prepared beforehand, it seems highly unlikely that the killer would have chosen such an unusual object. Furthermore, based on the culprit's movements, the candelabrum could have only come from the storeroom. We did find evidence that showed where it was standing, I guess. Exactly. Therefore, it could only have been something that was up for sale. Not that the issue of where the killer obtained their weapon is really the point here. It's a reasonably coherent explanation of events on the surface, but something's off. I need to see if I can tease a little more out of her.
Objection!
It seems you're one step behind yet again, Francisca. How so? The auctioneer was not in fact the victim, and I can prove it. This is the statement Miss Hart gave us. Well, if she made it, it's not worth the air she used to say it. As I told you, I'm a journalist, saying that my word is ouch! Did I ask you to open your mouth? Ouch!
Objection!
Calm down and listen for a second, Francisca. Miss Hart witnessed at least some of the events surrounding the murder, and she confirmed that the auction continued even after the murder had occurred. You bet you did. It went right on like nothing had happened at all. How would that have been possible without an auctioneer? It wouldn't. So you see, the victim couldn't have been the auctioneer. She was one of the attendees. No! As I've been saying since the start, there's no way Kay can be the murderer, because she had been pushed down the hatch by her assailant and knocked unconscious by that time. So then, who was the victim, really?
Right, well, if the auction carried on after the murder,
The victim must not have been the auctioneer, but an attendee. That's enough. I know that sound all too well. Order in the courtroom. All rise for the chairman.
oh, there's no need for all that pomp and circumstance, Verity. Please, everyone, feel free to call me Celsius. Yes, that'll do nicely.
Alright, Celsius, what are you doing here?
Huh? Oh, I just stopped by to see how my boneheaded boy was getting along.
They say there are all sorts of families, but I'm not sure these two are what they meant.
I thought I might need to light a fire under this investigation, but it seems not. The suspect everyone's searching high and low for is right back here where we started.
Men, detain the suspect immediately. Wait, Miss Faraday is innocent!
Shut your meddling mouth. You're becoming something of a problem, Miles, my boy. I thought I told you. The committee wants this matter cleared up as soon as possible. It's a matter of trust. We can't have our organization be seen to drag its feet. It's bad for us, and it's bad for me too. Personally, sorry, it must be my age.
Your unlawful investigation ends here, and it will not be permitted to resume. In case you have forgotten, you are no longer a prosecutor. You have no authority here. And what's more, there is the matter of you aiding and abetting a suspect.
She's right, of course. As always, you really are a godsend, Verity.
Everything I do knowingly. If you wish to prosecute me for it, be my guest. But know this. We have uncovered a new suspect. This person here. Miss Faraday was attacked by this
Overruled.
You can stop right there, Mr. Edgeworth. The raincoat in your picture was discovered nearby a short while ago. The victim's blood was found on the hood, along with some cherry blossom petals. Cherry blossom petals? Like the ones on the roof? Yes, they were stuck to the edges of the bloodstains, probably due to the blood being fresh at the time.
The results came back already, my boy, so there's no mistaking it. The person in your picture is the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer.
What? No, this completely undermines our entire case. All our assumptions were based on the person in the red raincoat being the killer. But if they were the victim instead, then Kay remains at the top of the suspect list. Miss Faraday, you testified to having encountered a person in a red raincoat up on the roof, correct? Yes, I did. We now know that that person was the murder victim, and you are the only person we know of who came into contact with her. If one of you wound up dead, I think we all know how that encounter went.
Objection!
No, Kay was attacked by that person. She is the victim here, not the aggressor.
Overruled.
As far as I recall, we have yet to see any evidence that proves she was attacked as you claim. And even if such proof existed, Miss Ringer could simply have been acting in self-defense. Well, you can't just jump to conclusions like that. Kay is innocent. But I'm not.
Okay?
I'm not innocent. I don't want to believe it, but I remembered something. Hearing about the raincoat brought it back. It's just a flash, but I remember what I saw now, right when it happened. The murderer, it was me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. No, you're not. You can't be. Then what am I? Why do I have a memory like that? You were on the floor in front of me. There was a pool of blood. Why was I just standing there? Why didn't I do something? I know why. It's because I was the killer. This court recognizes the legitimacy of the accused's memories.
What? But you said you didn't believe her like 5 minutes ago.
Overruled.
I commend you on your bravery, Miss Faraday. It will not go unrewarded. Praise be to the goddess of justice for her many blessings.
Objection!
As an official representative of Interpol, I hereby request that the suspect be
Overruled.
We don't have time for this. We must arrest Kay Faraday this instant. How dare you take that tone with me? This is a gross overreach of authority. I demand that you give us more time to investigate. It was Gavel! Gavel did it! She's acting really suspicious right now. It was her. She's the one who killed Rosie Ringer. And tried to set Kay up for the murder. You say my investigation is unlawful? What could be more unlawful than this? Unfortunately, you no longer speak for the law.
Indeed you don't, but I do. And while I can't help but be moved by your dedication to your friend, I have to agree with Verity.
Speaking of the law, it seems there is one other we must arrest.
Ah yes, I almost forgot. Miles. What are you talking about? Mr. Edwards was just doing his job. He didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't doing squat, by which I mean to say, unfortunately, Miles is no longer serving in any kind of official capacity.
You went too far this time, Mr. Edgeworth. You conducted an unlawful investigation. Worse, you aided and abetted the flight of a suspect. You are no longer even an ex-prosecutor. You are a criminal, nothing more.
Oh, that reminds me. There was supposed to be a hearing today, wasn't there? Concerning your conduct. I'll make sure it's officially rescheduled for tomorrow. Although, I fear I already know the outcome. Look at this as an opportunity to reflect on your actions, Miles. A chance to really think long and hard.
This court is adjourned. To be continued, and we'll finish this on Friday. What a juicy case, huh? Exited the game. Okay, I'll be back tomorrow. Gonna be playing a game that's sponsored this time. I was asked by the developers to play it. It'll be a surprise. In the meantime, where's Saku? Is Saku not online right now? Oh, I guess we can read the Space Chase instead. The Space Chase is playing Reloot It. Yeah, Reloot It. I don't know what that is. Thank you all for sticking around so long. I'll be back tomorrow with a special game. And then on Thursday is steno practice. And then Friday we'll be continuing this case. We'll finish it on Friday. Goodbye, everybody. That's wrong. I shouldn't say Silk Song. My bad.